pull up a chair. This is Off the Back Porch. Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer is brought to you in part by Country Village Sporting Goods. Everything you need to get in the woods, the water, or to the camp is at Country Village Sporting Goods. Jason Hardy State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Jason Hardy at State Farm is there. And Larry's Pizza in El Dorado, home of the Double Pizza Parade.
20 plus years of bringing you the most important and latest information with local happenings, news, sports, opinions, and probably an attempt at humor. Also brought to you in part by Davis Farms Country Market. For farm to table fresh, it's Davis Farms Country Market. Cook's Body Shop. Chances are it will happen. And when it does, look to Cook's. Murphy Arts District. For the latest information on concerts and events, go to eldomad.com.
Recorded live from Main Street Pizza in historic, beautiful downtown El Dorado, Arkansas. With a history of being the voices you trust. This is Off the Back Porch with Boomer and Sandy. Or Sandy and Boomer. Or two old guys you've known for a long time, whatever. And now your hosts, Troy, Boomer, Barrios, and B.A. Sandy Sanford.
Hey, and welcome to another edition of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer. And Boomer,
yeah,
here we are at our favorite place.
Main Street Pizza, man. And I want to tell you what, the pizza's always the same, and we like that. But I saw the guy that makes them pizzas walk in a while ago. I said, oh, he's here.
He's here, yeah.
But he has taught years ago, I know we're doing shout-outs for Donna. Years ago, it would, there may be different amount of pizza or something, but they've standardized this thing, and it's always the same. So that's why we love to come here. Martha and I come here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we come here all the time.
Yeah.
And right now we're living right across the street. So, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You're living in the federal building over there?
Yeah, well, no, that's where Richard has to live. No, there's an apartment right behind it.
Oh, yeah, in the curve. Yeah. The swimming pool place.
Yeah. Well, no, it's around the curve that used to be an electrical building.
Oh, yeah. I got you. I didn't know they made that into an apartment.
Yep.
Ah.
So.
Well, and
now that you've told everybody where you live.
Welcome to the show, and is Laney Mitcham. And Laney, you obviously have no concern or care about your reputation whatsoever if you're going to come on the show with us.
It is what
I'm
it is.
risking it all.
She asked me earlier, she said, so what are we going to talk about? And I was like, we're just idiots. We're idiots. Don't worry. I always tell people, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done that no one else knows about?
Yeah, don't say anything.
Yeah, don't say anything.
No.
But they'll be like, So I actually told mine last week.
Oh, that you were going to do that?
I told my most embarrassing thing last week.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
I tried to use Spanish.
Oh, that story,
with a young lady that works with my wife. She was having a housewarming, and I tried to use Spanish because it's one of those things, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to be very fluent in Spanish, and then I just quit using it, and so...
Then I lost it.
And so I've been trying to practice and get my Spanish back, and I wanted to tell her that...
Hola, Isabel. ¿Cómo estás?
This dip she made, she wanted to know how it was, and I wanted to tell her that it was good and that the flavor started at the front of my mouth and ended at the back. That's, the mark of a good meal. That's not what I said. What I ended up telling her was that I was really good with my tongue. And, and so when I told her that, she just stopped and looked at me and she's like,
okay,
we'll let Casey tell us if that's the case or not.
Okay, so, take your word for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, dear Lord, what did I say? And she told me, I was like, I hadn't been able to look at her the same sense. I see her now and I'm like, hey. Yeah, I can't just look her in the eye.
My daughter actually mentioned that while we were in Branson on vacation. She said, I've had 2 years of Spanish in college. I'm pretty fluent, but I still sound like cornbread.
Yeah.
So when we're in a Mexican restaurant.
Donde está el baño?
Yeah. Yeah. Like Peggy Hill off King of the Hill.
Yeah.
And so,
And we think that if you just talk English louder,
they'll
understand
it
That's
for some reason.
Yeah.
Where's the bathroom? No, my daughter, who was our guest last week, is very fluent in Spanish, and she actually went on a mission trip one time to Nicaragua, and every little group had to have an interpreter except hers because obviously
she knew it.
She was very fluent. So yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so welcome to this week's show. And again, Laney Mitcham is here with us, and she's with Benjamin Edwards Financial Planners. And
all my worldly possessions are right over there in that office. Well, not all of them. I got my guns at the house, but
And your dogs.
And my dogs.
I don't
Guns
keep dogs.
And my wife. You don't keep wives or dogs. Or you may have guns, but not wives or dogs.
I recently moved all of my stuff
I know.
to Laney.
I know. I was told you that was a good move when it happened.
Yeah. And so, and so we have some questions we'll ask you about financial planning and things like that. And so, but again, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you with us this week.
Thank you.
And thank you for not caring about your reputation.
I'm risking it, like I said.
You did that when you married Richard.
Right?
Wow.
Hey, let me just tell you something. You know, we had the meeting last night where we elected him president.
Of what?
The Married Out of Your League Club.
Oh.
Definitely. If you don't believe me, look at him.
Look at her.
Look at her.
So
look back at him. Look back at her.
So he's punching out of his weight class. Is
Yes.
that, and
Out-kicking his coverage.
Out kicking his coverage, and there's one more.
Above his pay grade.
Above, yeah. But about the hitting thing, he's hitting above his.
Hitting above his average.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, thanks.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
So, Boomer, we had a lot of response to our. We read some anonymous messages that we got last week. And we've had a lot of response.
No, you didn't.
And so last week.
Tell Laney what happened.
Last week, for example, Laney, we had someone who wrote in that said, hey, I've got a friend and he plans on giving his girlfriend of 2 years an engagement ring on Christmas Day. And in front of her whole family. But he hasn't bought her a Christmas present. He said the cost of the ring negates buying a present.
Right.
And we said, you're an idiot.
Marriage won't last.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go all out, but
No.
You
Come
gotta
in
do
with something.
You got to do two things.
get her a gift certificate, get her nails done.
Yeah.
It's
a thought that counts.
A
That's
spa,
right.
a spa day or something.
Something.
Yeah.
But
Basket of fruit, anything.
But I said last week that my belief is that once you purchase that engagement ring and hand it to that person and y'all become engaged,
Yes.
that ring now belongs to her. That's hers. And I said, Lord knows I bought enough engagement rings over the years.
You have?
Yeah. What am I going to do with it if you give it back to me? I'm not going to give it to someone else.
Maybe
Sure you
that should be
can.
another podcast where we talk about that.
Right.
Sure you can.
But
Just had this made.
I got
especially for you.
the majority of the messages we received after that portion of the podcast was, but what if it's a family heirloom? Obviously, if it's a family heirloom,
you give it back.
give it back.
Right.
But that's just how. And then I had an ex who reached out to me and said, I actually gave you the ring back. And I was like, you did. You certainly did. And so
How far back X was that?
a long time ago.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I was engaged once and called it off, and I did give the ring back. Thank goodness.
Yeah. And
Thank God for unanswered prayers.
That's right.
That's my favorite song.
That's right.
But so this week we have a couple more that I mean we have several that we can use over the next few weeks. But here's one. You'll see when I get to the end of it why I think this is funny. I'm a 30-year-old female. I have a 15-year-old sister-in-law.
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Her brother and I were dating in high school when she was born. So I've been in her life since day one, and we're very close. My sister-in-law is going through a bit of a difficult stage right now, lots of fighting with her parents and not always making the best choices. So I decided it was time for some girl time. We went out, we had some sweets, had her tell me about how she's feeling. This has nothing to do. She often opens up to me about things that she doesn't tell others. I didn't tell her what to do. I just gave her someone to talk to out loud about what she's feeling. Nothing concerning or alarming in what she told me, so I didn't repeat any of it to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is now mad about this. She says that she has a right to know what's going on in her daughter's life and that I need to tell her. I explained that she didn't say anything alarming or concerning. It's just teenage girl stuff, and I'm not going to break my sister-in-law's trust by repeating it. Mother-in-law says, you're the adult. You shouldn't be playing the secret game, especially with my daughter. Am I totally missing the point here? I know y'all are just guys, That's what I'm saying. It's funny. Y'all are just guys, and probably have a different take. And no offense, but you're both older with more experience. Let me know what I should do.
No offense.
Yeah, no offense.
No offense.
Old guys.
Yeah. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but.
But here I go.
Okay, well then, let the lady in the house tell us what
Yeah.
she thinks.
Well, I feel like if something was told in confidence, it should remain in confidence. Unless it's, so detrimental to that person.
Life-threatening or something, yeah.
Right. I'm going to harm myself. Someone's harming me. And then I feel like it's fair to intervene. But if something's told in confidence, that's where it should stay.
And she said there was nothing alarming or concerning. It's just teenage girl stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tend to agree. I think, your mother-in-law's just going to have to suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, she needs to and say, listen, we have that hey, help me. We have between us.
Repertoire?
No, not repertoire.
Repertoire.
We understand. Thank you.
Is that French? He speaks French too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's funny.
Yeah.
So, you can't break that trust. And so
You'll never hear another thing if you do.
you'll never hear anything else. But here's the deal. I'm trying to get to it. I'm missing words. If she has something that's going to harm her, I'm not going to run to the mother yet. I'm going to try to counsel her to help her say,
Yeah.
listen, this is now, you and I were able to talk to each other because I know you know that I won't tell anybody, but we need to deal with this. So, and then convince them instead of running to mother and saying, well, she's been cutting herself.
Right, or whatever.
Or
yeah.
whatever. So let's talk with this as a family. I'll be there. Mom and Dad will be there.
I can be there as your advocate.
Yeah, I'll speak for you.
Yeah, but yeah, I tend to agree. You don't just go run and tell the mother-in-law.
No.
Well, I've been a mom and a stepmom, and I've been through 3 teenagers. And I do, as a mom, you want to know everything, and you want to be the confidant, but you're not always. And I was thankful when my daughter was growing up that she had her older sisters, and that she had somebody that she felt like she could talk to besides me, because she would open up about things that she wouldn't with me. So,
Yeah.
mom
And-
should just be glad.
That's the great thing about having 6 kids, especially when the oldest is 31 and the youngest is 6, is that, yeah, yeah, painful, I know. But for example, the Munchkin, she has been able to confide in Micah, the oldest, and especially when it comes to girl stuff, about their bodies and, I appreciate the way that my kids have handled it. The 1.0s, for example, with the 2.0s are like, okay, mom and dad really need to know this. I'm okay with sharing it with them, but I'm just telling you up front, I'm going to do that because they need to know this. And in this one instance, the Munchkin was like, I don't know how I would even use the word. So yeah, I think that'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
And, and sometimes maybe that's all that this woman's sister-in-law is needing is just, I need to say these words out loud so I can hear them come out of my own mouth.
Sure. Yeah. Just to bounce them off somebody.
Now, I know people that once they have something in their mind, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And there's no changing it.
Yeah,
And
I have a kid like that. I have an adult daughter like that I never can figure out what motivates her because it'll just, you can say anything you want, give her any direction you want until she gets it clicked in her head. And that's okay. She has to go over it and again. But let me tell you an instance that happened with my twins. When they were past preteens, we would go to the beach. We went to the beach every year for like 10 years and stayed in the same place. And it was just kind of a tradition that we went back to Perdido Key every year. And it's all while they were in high school. And they were just flabbergasted that trying to buy a swimsuit. And we were there in Orange Beach trying to buy swimsuits. And they were just horrified. They'd have to buy 2 of them to get the bottom and the top to fit. And I said, okay. Let's not buy anything. Okay. I said, let's just go to the beach, wear the ones you have. If not, just put on some gym shorts or something. And I want to do a little trick with you or a little test. I said, I want you to sit right here. And when girls walk by, I want you to tell me how many of them would fit in one of the magazines that we look at that show women in dress or in bathing suits. And I want you to tell me, we're going to count 100 girls, and I want you to tell me how many of them. And it happened. I mean, people walk up and down that beach all the time.
Yeah.
So within a couple hours, we had counted 100 people, and the ones that they thought were outstanding that could have walked the stage, there was 5.
Exactly.
There was 5. I said, so most everybody doesn't look like that, like
Right.
it's portrayed to you. And even that was before the internet days, but books and magazines and TV and all that. So that's hard. Raising 4 girls, that's hard, man. That was real
it's
hard.
not for the weak, that's for sure.
And
Amen.
no, it's not for the
Not
weak.
for the weak, yeah.
And I raised them until they were 8 and 10 and 14 by myself. Okay, well, by myself. Their mother tried.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing with girls, especially. And I don't know if I could do boys, but most people just kick boys out and say, go eat dirt or put a little ice on it or whatever. But yeah, it's hard to deal with girls.
Yeah, it is. But boys have their own challenges. When my wife was pregnant with His Royal Highness, and she had never had a little boy. And when she came into our life, the 1.0 boys were big. I think Cam was maybe 11, Jax was maybe 13, something like that. And so she's like, I don't know anything about raising a boy. I said, boys are easy.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do you mean? I said, run your fingers through their hair and point them in the direction you want them to pee. That's it basically, because listen, that boy, and I don't care what boy it is, you can just insert a boy here. That boy's entire life is going to center around his hair,
Yeah.
and that other thing.
Oh, yeah. For how long? Forever? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when it stops.
Said I don't think with it. It thinks for me.
It thinks for me. Now, that's the great thing about getting a little older is it no longer thinks for you, but it has a loud voice still.
Oh, no. I need to see myself out on this.
It wants to go play ball, but it just doesn't have the arm for it anymore.
Y'all both, exactly. Y'all both have raised girls.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, you're right. Raising girls is not for the weak. I was very, very fortunate, very, very fortunate with Micah because she was easy to raise. She liked me, and she wanted to hang out with me, and she wanted to be part of the things I was part of. And even when I don't even remember a time even those teenage years where she was rebellious or of any of my kids. I mean, Jax, there was one little period. I mean, it was a short little period where he was being slightly rebellious, and it ended up what happened one Wednesday night. We got home from church, and we're sitting there, and normally we beat them home from church. And because he was going to First Baptist 252 youth group. So we beat him home from church, and normally we did by 10, 15 minutes. Well, after it'd been about 30, 45 minutes, I'm like putting my shoes on, and Casey's like, what are you doing? I said,
Go look for the
I got to
kid.
go find the kid. I said, he's not home yet. And about then, he walks in the door. Eyes are all puffy and red. And he said, look, I know I'm late. He said, but I just spent 45 minutes at the altar getting some stuff out.
Good.
That needed to come out. And
Your heart swelled.
I'm going to tell you, up to that day, I had been at that high school. He was a freshman in high school. I'd been at that high school no less than a dozen times, and it was still early
Over
in the
here.
year. It was definitely every week, sometimes multiple times a week. And from that day forward, it was a totally new kid.
Isn't that something?
Totally different child.
Spirit-controlled temperament. Yeah.
And
it worked.
And then at the end of the school year, when they did the awards assembly, he got the most improved student. He was the only student nominated by all 7 of his teachers.
How cool.
And it was just a Jesus factor.
It was.
That's, all it is. And he, what he's done with his life since, it is the fruit
Yeah, he's doing
of
good.
the Spirit. The fruit is showing, But that was a very small period. But I've just never had a period where any of them really just rebelled. Now, the Munchkin one time, she decided she wasn't going to talk to me.
Yeah.
And it was 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days before she spoke to me. And I don't even know why. I think I was adjacent. I think she was mad at her mom, but decided she wasn't going to speak to me. And that was fine because
You talk all day long.
I talk for a living.
Yeah, that's what I had this conversation with my wife.
If you think you're punishing me
by not talking,
by being quiet,
and I told him that. I told him that, and it really made them mad because they were, I don't remember what it was. This was 25 years ago, and I said, if y'all think slamming doors and not talking to me is going to hurt me, I said, I talk all day long for a living. I said, when I come home, man, I just want to sit and watch TV. That's all and eat supper. Yeah. So they quit slamming doors.
Yeah. I always say that. I've used my word quota for the day.
That's it. I'm all worded out.
I remember, but I after 3 days when the munchkin finally decided to talk to me, I said, hey, by the way, I noticed you haven't spoke to me in 3 days, and that's fine. I said, if you want to know if it hurt my feelings, it did. And I said, because there's nothing, absolutely nothing you could do
make me not love
that make me not love you.
Yeah.
And she was like, you could tell it broke her heart. She was like, oh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, when you tell them that, yeah. Can I tell a story?
Yes.
And when we said Branson and X and thank God for unanswered prayers, let me back up. It's not going to be long, but I'm going to back all the way up to high school 50 years ago. I had a girlfriend for 3 years, and we dated. And she's talking about when we got married and all that. She's a year older than me. I said, you know what? You're going to go to college. She was going up to Missouri, and I was going to Louisiana Tech. I said, you'll meet somebody else. And she says, no, you're the one. I said, well, Lisa, if it works out that way, then that's fine. So fast forward 10, 12 years. She's divorced. I'm divorced. And we met in Branson. And I had my kids with me, and we had a weekend in Branson. Well, the Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, we're going to go see Soji Tabushi. But let me tell you that her child dictated what went on the whole damn weekend.
Oh.
Whatever this child wanted. And she had a child that's the same age as my twins, about 8. And so one of the twins smarted off or did something, and I just grabbed the arm and spanked him, hit him on the butt one time. She goes, don't hit that child.
Ooh.
I said, look here, Lisa. You raise your child, and because I was really upset because the child had dictated everything we had done. I said, you raised your child the way you see fit, and I'm going to raise mine the way I see fit. And within 30 minutes, she was packed and gone. And I said, well, that's that. That was 1987, 6 maybe. And so fast forward, I moved to El Dorado, met Martha, got married, and we're home at lunch watching All My Children. We'd always go home and sit and watch all my children eat. And I look out, and there's a car in front of the house, and I'll be damned if it isn't Lisa Guillory getting out of the car.
Oh, wow.
And I turned around, I went back in the kitchen, I said, Martha, we've been, we're still in our 30s now when this would really make you mad. I said, my ex-girlfriend's fixing to walk up the front porch. She looked at me with this, not horrified, looked like a WTF, maybe, And so this girl came in, sat down on the couch, just wanted to come by and visit. She was headed back to South Louisiana from Missouri, and just wanted to
it's on the way.
Hi, just say hi.
How bizarre.
How bizarre.
I don't think she just wanted to say hi.
I don't think she did either.
She's trying to stir the pot is what she was doing.
Yeah.
I think she's putting a toe in the water.
Yeah. And and so no communication with that, until Facebook and I'm your friend, and we're friends, whatever. But something came up the other night, and it's a picture of her, and I showed it to Martha, and I says, thank God for unanswered prayers. And if you see this podcast, Lisa, don't come back by my house again.
Note number 2 that we received. Each Christmas, my wife and I host her family. This has been going on for a while now as we have young kids, and it's just better for the kids to be at home all day on Christmas to play with their new things. My wife and I are also both vegetarians. I didn't know we had any vegetarians who watched this show, by the way.
It wouldn't seem it would be in our bailiwick.
Yeah, it wouldn't certainly be in our wheelhouse of demographics. But anyway, we're not militant.
What'd you call her?
We're not militant. We totally believe that everyone has the right to choose what they eat.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my wife's family are also vegetarian, which helps, but her dad and her brother are not. Every year they cook some meat and bring it to our house, which is fine by me. However, this year they brought raw meat and wanted to cook a turkey in my oven. When I said no, you would think I had committed a felony. Everyone, including my wife, says I was being unreasonable. But I don't want that smell lingering in my oven for years to come. So tell me, guys, the two of you are carnivores. Am I wrong here, or should a man have a right to protect his home? Well, let me answer the first question. Are you wrong here? Yes. Yes, you are wrong. I have cooked gazillions of meals in my oven, and not one time has any of that smell stayed and permeated the metal inside my oven.
No,
it doesn't do that.
Well, I don't know. I've burned some things in my oven. That smells hard to get rid of.
Well, that's because it's caramelized on the sides of it.
But I do think that the turkey cooking would be something we could get past.
Yeah. I'm thinking too.
Again, I'm a carnivore, so,
Yeah.
but if I have to admit, turkey is my absolute next to the least favorite meat.
Okay. Yeah.
It and duck. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm through with them as soon as they hit the water. And the dog gets.
Yeah, I'm just not. I guess liver you could throw that in there too. But anyway, if
he needs to man up.
Somebody brought a raw turkey to my house to cook it in my oven. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been nice if they just said, "Hey, we're going to bring a turkey and cook it at your house. Is that all right?" And he would have said, "Well, I'd rather not." And they say, "Okay, we'll cook it and then bring it."
Yeah, I mean, obviously there was some communication lapse that they should have talked about it a little before. But to answer his question, he said, "Am I wrong here, or should a man have a right to protect his home?" Those are two different things.
Yes,
you
you're
are wrong here, and
you
yes, a man does have a right to protect his home, but that's not protecting your home.
All right, what are you protecting it from?
Right? Are you protecting it from a dead bird?
You're protecting it from a misgiving because you think it's going to smell all the time, and it's not.
It's not. It's not going to.
Yep.
Begs a question. Vegetarians, have you ever smelled asparagus?
Or cabbage.
Yes.
Broccoli.
Or broccoli.
Broccoli? Brussels sprouts?
Artichoke.
Now, let me say this.
I'm going to say cabbage is the worst.
Yeah, it is.
The Brussels sprouts they make
Smells
over
like
the
poo-poo.
Fayrays.
It smells like a fart.
It smells like poo-poo.
The Brussels sprouts they make at Fayrays are among the best I've ever had.
So good. So good.
Very good.
The Country Club.
Country Club has
Oh,
good-
my gosh.
I
They're
haven't had
shredded
them.
Brussels.
Yeah.
Best thing ever.
Yeah. So, that's a question. But I've smelled asparagus cooking. I've smelled cabbage cooking. Now, I don't boil cabbage.
You cook it down. Do you put onions on it and salt
I
and pepper?
stir fry it.
Yeah, kind of like a stir fry.
Yeah, I stir fry.
That's the best way to. I'll eat cabbage that way.
Yeah. I'm not just, but like boiled okra,
It's too slimy.
I'm not
or the
eating
okra
boiled
that they, if they put them in a can them, ooh,
No, not
it
doing
comes
that
out
either.
slimy. And Mama used to put
Kind of furry.
kind of
Yeah.
furry.
Yeah.
Mama, it's the texture of it. Mama used to cook okra in her gumbos. And oh man, you'd have to stir around that.
So I was asked
She
the
said,
other day-
just move it over, Troy.
I was asked the other day, Daddy, do you use okra in your gumbo? I said, I have.
Yeah.
It's not something I prefer to do. Let me tell you what doesn't belong in gumbo. Tomatoes.
No,
Do not put tomatoes in gumbo.
no.
And do not put eggs in your gumbo.
No, we
Ooh.
talked about that, and that's not right. Or veg all. You're not putting vegetables in a gumbo.
Shouldn't be corn,
Peas,
No.
carrots, none of that.
No.
It's a stew after you do that.
Right. Just call it a stew, but it's not a gumbo.
It's not a gumbo.
So I did. I called him one day. I said, "Hey, man, I got to ask you a question." Now, my wife's got a whole bunch of Cajun in her. You don't believe me? Just watch how she acts. And
It's a dead giveaway.
yeah, but I asked her. I said, "You ever see anybody put eggs in their gumbo?" She said, "Well, they'll put them in there in the shell, hard boil." I said, "No, that's not what I'm talking about." This woman cracked eggs and put raw egg into the gumbo while it was cooking. I said, "That's an egg drop soup. That's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not."
yeah.
You're poaching eggs in gumbo juice. And I get it. Now, that would make for a good tasting
That's
egg.
shrimp with lobster sauce is what that is.
That would make for a great tasting egg.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have a poached egg and poach it in there. But you don't leave it in there. You take them out.
Yeah.
That's somebody
Exactly.
else's problem. But I called him. I said, "Man, you grew up in Morgan City. Tell me." And he's like, "Oh, no, you don't do that."
Not our generation did.
And, I think I was an adult before I ever saw potato salad in gumbo.
That's
And
how
it's-
Richard likes it.
It's after. It's not cooked in.
No.
No, you add it to the
just
top.
It's
Yeah,
dumped
you
in
just
on
put it
top,
on
like you
top.
would the rice.
Yeah, well, I didn't want, we got a lot of people that don't eat gumbo here. I don't want them to go trying to
Yeah, don't
cook a
don't
potato
make-
salad and
don't make your
put
potato salad.
mayonnaise and mustard and onions and
Yeah.
potatoes in. No.
Can you imagine?
Oh, that'd be nasty.
That would be so nasty.
Yeah.
No, you put the cold potato salad in
You
the
put
hot
the
gumbo.
cold potato salad. I'm sorry.
In the hot gumbo, yeah. And
I got the lime and the coconut thing.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have more of Off the Back Porch right after.
Rated the #1 course in Arkansas by Golf Week, Mystic Creek is truly a hidden gem, complemented by a modern clubhouse, complete with panoramic views. It also features a fully stocked pro shop and Mystic Grill serving contemporary American cuisine and Southern classics. Mystic Creek promises an unforgettable experience.
Country Village Sporting Goods has a little bit of everything you need to get you to the water, the woods, or to the camp. Coming soon, a new shipment of creek boats. Every year we sell out fast. Get yours ordered today. It seems like we're always unboxing the latest and greatest in lures and tackle. Come check out new colors, new styles, and the latest technology making rods lighter and reels easier to cast. Cruise through our vast selection of camo clothing, coveralls, overalls, boots, outerwear, and more. All at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado. New year, new you? Help your resolution with our friends at Davis Farms Country Market. Make family meals a priority this year with the new take and bake side dishes like potato casseroles. Pack lunches with fresh boar's head, sliced deli meats, or cheeses. Make dinners great again with true farm-to-table fresh ingredients from Davis Farms Country Market. 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
Anyone can be so curious.
Get ready to see the world more curiously because Blippi is coming to your hometown. The Be Like Blippi Tour. Join Blippi and Mika live on stage for a one-of-a-kind interactive adventure that inspires kids to move like, play like, and explore just like Blippi. Saturday, April 11th, the First Financial Music Hall in El Dorado. Tickets are on sale now at eldomad.com. Break out your orange Blippi glasses for an unforgettable experience that encourages kids to be like Blippi.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer and our special guest, Laney Mitcham. Laney,
Hello.
thank you so much for being with us today.
Welcome.
Obviously, we record this podcast, and today is New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
And so I thought what we might do is discuss New Year's resolution. Do you have a New Year's resolution?
I do.
Okay.
And I've had the same one now for about 20-something years, and it's worked out real well for me. I made a resolution that I would not make any more New Year's resolutions, and I've been able to keep
that one.
Yeah, for 20-something
Running
years.
strong.
Yeah,
Nice.
I feel good about that.
Do you have a New Year's resolution?
I don't have a resolution. I usually have a word of the year.
Yeah.
And I try to focus on that word and pray over that word. My word for 2026 is discipline, because I feel like there are so many areas, with my, a time with the Lord, with my health, with my money, so many areas where, I think discipline's an important focus. So I tend to do better with focusing on that than trying to make a hard and fast resolution.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna change. Can I change mine?
Yes.
We're gonna do that too.
Discipline?
Yeah, no.
You're not.
No,
It's
no.
not going to work for you, Boomer. I'm just telling you now.
So Martha and I were riding back from Bryant yesterday, and I said, Martha, do you read your Bible much? Because we were listening to a guy that was talking about the Bible. She says, not enough. I said, I want something that tells me to read this and then explains it to me. Mm-hmm. And you can find that. I said, we can find that out there. And, they, in fact, while we were on K-Love, they said something about one that you can do. So that's what we had decided to do as a couple.
That's nice.
Well, I found a great one, the Bible Recap. And that is a fantastic source.
Bible
you
Recap.
You read a certain amount every day, and it's most of it's supposed to be a chronological walk through the Bible.
Yeah.
And you can listen to it. You can download the app, you can listen to it, or you can read it in your Bible. And then there's a podcast. And she gives you like about a 5-minute explanation
Oh, yeah.
And I love that.
That's great.
Yeah. I made it
find
all
that.
the way to Leviticus last year. And I did. I ran off the rails. But no. I made it to Deuteronomy this past year. And I did. I fell off. You know, you get into the chronology, chronological.
So-and-so begat so-and-so, and so-and-so begat so-and-so.
That's tough. That's
And
tough.
then explain that.
But she does a good job. Her name's Tara Lee Cobble. It's good.
And it's
good
the name of
podcast.
the podcast,
The Bible Recap.
Bible Recap.
I wrote it down. So, I've often felt like you. And so the very first Bible college class I ever took, here was our assignment. Read the Bible front to back.
And then
Come back when you're done.
Get back with me.
Yeah. And so I kind of got that way in Leviticus with the breadth and the height and the length and the width, and it shouldn't be this, and and you can't eat this and you shouldn't eat that, and don't do this and don't do that, and all. And I was just like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to end? And then, like I said, I think it's Numbers where they do all the begats. And however, years later, I've often been puzzled by, and didn't mean for this to turn into a Bible session, right? But I've often been puzzled by the day of Jesus' resurrection. Okay, Mary goes to the tomb. Mary Magdalene goes to the tomb, and his body's gone. And the Bible says a man came in to the tomb, and she, supposing him to be a gardener, said, "Sir, if you will tell me what you've done with his body, I'll go and get it." And he says, "Mary." Just says her name. And she turns around and realizes it's Jesus. She runs to him to hug him. He says, whoa, 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 don't touch me. Touch me not, for I've yet to ascend to the Father. For I go to the Father, but tell my disciples and Peter that I will see them this evening. And I've always been puzzled by that. It's like, Lord, of all the things. I mean, yeah, you'd been telling them I'm going to rise again, but you spoke in so many parables. How'd they know what that meant? I mean, you're alive, and she just wanted to hug you, and you're like, don't touch me? Then something harkened back to that Levitical study. When the Sabbath fell on the Sabbath day of Passover, so and it only happens like once every 40-something years. It's called a high Sabbath.
Yeah.
And on the high Sabbath, the high priest was to wake in the morning, totally nude, go to the brazen laver and wash, put on his priestly garments, then go back to the brazen laver, wash again, and then take the sacrifice into the Holy of Holies and sprinkle the blood on the mercy seat. But here's what happens. It says, but if any man should touch him, he was to burn the garments and had to start all over. Well, we know that Jesus said, I didn't come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it, right? So he was in his priestly apparel. The reason she thought he was a gardener, have you ever seen the high priest outfit? It had all these trinkets and stuff hanging off of. She thought she was hearing
the jingles,
shovels and picks or whatever they used, but she was hearing those trinkets. That's why she thought he was a gardener. So he's in his high priest. It's the Sabbath. It's the high Sabbath. I mean, he's got to go to ascend to the Father. Now, what does he do? Well, we find out later in the book of Hebrews, it says that when he ascended into heaven, that he looked neither to the right nor to the left, but fixed his eyes on the temple, because we know that the temple on earth the tabernacle on earth was just a mirror of the one that was in heaven, right? And it said, and he set his eyes on the mercy seat and went and sprinkled his own blood on the mercy seat, thus fulfilling the purchase of you and me.
What it said in Numbers or Leviticus.
So from that point forward, I've always had it doesn't make Leviticus or Numbers or any of them any easier to read, but I'm like,
when you can tie it back to
when you see where it goes, where it fits in. And then I heard a guy the other day, and he was on TikTok, and he was like, "Hey, does anyone know who Boaz is?" And, you know the story of Boaz and Ruth, and said, "Yeah, who was Boaz's mom? Do you remember?" Rahab, the harlot.
Yeah.
That I don't think is his mom, one of his grandmothers, But he comes from the bloodline of the town whore, and he's Boaz, who's a good man,
and the kindred redeemer.
And Boaz has a son. Do you know what his name was? Obadiah. And Obadiah had a son. You remember what his name was? Jesse. And Jesse had a son named David.
Yeah, from the root of Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where those begats. I've always just kind of, they're hard to read and all, but I'm like, let's trace this back a little bit and see where this goes.
But when you see it, I've seen it on a timeline.
Yeah.
Where it put all the people in their generation and where they were, and it makes sense after you look at it like that, or you're able to read it enough to go back to.
But anyway, so I'm gonna look. Like I said, I wrote that down.
We
Bible
only got to
recap.
Leviticus.
Hey, we do what we can.
Hey, but the good part was you got past all the Abraham stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because man, Abraham was tough. You understand me? Mm-hmm. God said, "Hey, Abram, we'll change your name. By the way, I want you to go home and circumcise everybody." And everybody at Abraham's house like, now, hold on a minute.
Whoa. Hey.
Whoa.
Look here. Let me.
Whoa. Now, who said this?
Can we pray on this? Let's just pray about this for a minute.
Yeah, that used to be Jax. I say, Jax, get that garbage, take it out, please. He said, we pray on that. I'll get back to you.
Kapow.
Yeah, you go ahead and pray about that.
Slap.
And I told him one day, I said, see, son, I said, what I just practiced was one of the fruit of the Spirit. Mm-hmm. I said, temperance. I said, I wanted to just slap the snot out of you.
But I did.
But I didn't. He said, way to be a Pharisee, Dad. Look how great I'm being. I'm like, you know what? You're grounded. I'm taking your truck. You can ride the bus to school.
Because you were right. Oh, my.
New Year's resolutions. Here we go. What would you think would be, this is among Americans. They surveyed 3,000 Americans and came up with, these were the top 10 New Year's resolutions. So what would be a guess?
Number one would be lose weight.
Definitely. It is number one.
Yeah.
I'm going to, well, it's part of that, I guess. Exercise more.
Being healthy, working out, number two.
Okay. Save money, number three.
Number three. That is number three. She's seen the list.
Hey, you can save money right there. She
That's
knows
right.
how to save
She knows
money.
That's right. I can tell you how.
Yeah. I told him last week on the podcast, I said, Laney's going to be here with us next week. And I said, she's going to start talking about, maybe she can help me figure out why I don't have any money. And I said, I know she's going to start trying to talk about all the stuff I spend it on. She needs to mind her business. All right. So we have lose weight, number one, being healthy, working out, number two, save money, number three.
Read my Bible more.
Did not make the list.
Wow.
There goes your resolution.
Yeah.
Let me give you number 10.
Okay.
Less screen time.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah. Richard would tell you that that should be my number one.
Martha and I tell each other, we're going to lay it down.
But then we don't. Yeah.
10 minutes,
Yeah. Doom scrolling.
9.
Number 9, drink less alcohol.
Oh.
Not quit drinking, but just drink less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
I don't have a problem with that. That's
I got 6 kids, so
you drink.
Just
Yeah.
fill in
just
the blank
drink.
as you need to.
That's right.
Number 8, travel more.
Yeah, that would be my number one there.
Number 7, get a hobby.
That's a resolution.
I don't have time for hobbies.
Well, it is. As a mom, you tend to not have hobbies.
Yeah.
And, when my last daughter graduated, she was my hobby. So I had to fill my time. So I became a painter. I started going to an exercise class, took up gardening. All things I was never interested in before, but I needed a hobby. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But you're already like fabulous in your kitchen. I have some vanilla extract she made, and I sent her a message one day, and I was like, hey, look, I hate to admit this, but you made us this really nice bottle of vanilla that I've lost it. I don't know where it's at. Because we were displaced from our home, and I'm sure it's in a box somewhere. I don't know where it is.
I can't smell it.
I need some vanilla. Do you have any more? And she's like, give me about 8 or 9 months and I will, So, and sure enough, like 8 or 9 months later, Casey comes walking in the door with a bottle of vanilla, and
it takes 8 or 9 months
It
to make
takes a
vanilla.
while. I mean, you add your vanilla beans to either vodka or whiskey and put them in a dark place. It's not rocket science, but it's a function of
Fermenting
time. Yeah, it turns dark, and the longer it sits, the stronger that flavor gets. There's nothing like it though. Cooking with that.
Oh, I mean.
Yeah.
Martha gets Mexican vanilla.
Oh, it's good too. Yeah.
So, and it just so happened, like 2 days after I got this new bottle of vanilla from her, I found the other one. I found the old one.
It's okay. I think we traded. I think you brought me something though. Pepper jelly or.
Oh yeah.
I think we traded.
Yeah, my wife
that
did
day.
make some pepper jelly.
Yeah.
And
That's good too.
Yeah.
Martha makes a cheese mold, puts that
Oh.
pepper jelly on top.
Oh, I love Martha. Yes.
Yeah.
Number 6, stop smoking.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be.
I've never had that habit, but that's
Sandy
a good
and I
one.
both had that.
We
nasty
did.
habit.
We did. But it was not hard for me
To quit.
to quit smoking.
It was pretty hard when I quit the second time again.
Yeah.
Richard quit cold turkey when he was 30 years old. He's 58 now, never smoked again. It's amazing when we think about how much money we've saved.
Oh heavens! Yeah, they're
With that.
$10 a pack now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got a friend who
Can't-
told me the other day that her husband has a $25 a day habit. He stops at a store, he gets 2 packs of cigarettes and like a drink or a snack or something to take to work. I mean, that's real money by the end of the month. $1,200, $1,400 a
Yeah,
month.
gosh.
That's serious money.
Oof.
Well, you
That's
know-
a mortgage payment there.
Yeah.
See how that she did that? Well, let me tell you what I got in the habit of doing. I could pull into, it's not Shawnee, Shipley's anymore, the donut place. I'd pull in there and they knew what I wanted. And the guy even asked me, he says, "Don't you ever get anything else?" I said, "Like this." I want a small kolache with a chocolate donut and a chocolate milk. And it was $5 something. Well, then I graduated over to McDonald's and I got orange juice and it was $8 something a day. Martha says, "Look, we're going to have to buy you some orange juice."
Get you a jug of orange juice, put it
Yeah.
here at the house.
Yeah.
She says, "Why is it $8?" I said, "Well, that glass of orange juice is probably $3 or something." From
Yeah.
them. Anyway,
So we know that number 10 is less screen time. Number 9, drink less alcohol. Number 8, travel more. 7, get a hobby. Number 6, stop smoking. Number 3, we know, save money. Number 2 is being healthy. Number 1 is to lose weight. So we still have to get number 5 and number 4. Number 5, spend more time with family and friends.
that'd be a good
Oh,
one.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do that one.
And then number 4, improve your own mental health. Yeah, well, I'm not sure that there's enough medicine out there.
Yeah, that's the problem. Medicine's the problem.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Here were some that were bubbling under, didn't make the top 10. Get a new job, find a significant other, cook at home more, read more, pay down debt, and more sleep.
All good ones.
All good ones. That's right. That's right. So, being that it's New Year's Eve, I did look, what were the top Google searches of 2025? Any idea what the top Google searches? I have the top 10.
It's going to be about a celebrity, the top one, searching for somebody.
So number 10 was the No Kings protest.
Oh,
That was the number 10 search. Number 9, this is according to Google. What do tariffs do?
Oh,
Number 8.
we now know what tariffs do.
Number 8, Zorhan Mamdani
There you go.
was the number 8 search. Number 7, Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh,
Oh,
Ozzy.
because he died, or
Yeah.
they searched him because he died.
Yeah. Number 6, government shutdown.
Yeah.
Number 5, one big beautiful bill.
Okay.
Number 4, and I thought this one would have been higher, Pope Leo XIV, the first American pope.
Yeah. From Ohio or somewhere.
Illinois,
Yeah.
Chicago. Number 3, K-pop demon hunters.
I don't know what that is.
So,
No idea.
so His Royal Highness, he's been watching K-pop demon hunters. It's a cartoon series,
Okay.
and I don't know nothing about it
Yeah, and you
because
should.
because I refuse to watch it.
But you need to.
But I walk in, I'm like, turn that off. But I do that about a lot of stuff. I'll walk in and they're what? Y'all help me understand something here. When I was a kid, I didn't go to your house to watch you play Atari.
No.
I went because we were going to play Atari.
Yeah.
The only time I'm watching you is if it's a one-player
my
game
turn.
and I'm waiting for my turn.
Yeah.
But YouTube channels that are just built on watching other people
Yeah.
play video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandsons, they're sitting there watching a video of someone playing a video game.
Yes, our grandsons do.
Do
too.
not get it.
I don't understand.
Here's
it
the other
myself.
one I don't get. Because I had a Christmas like this. I don't come to your house to watch you open your presents, but yet some of
Oh,
the
yeah.
biggest YouTube channels out there are people who are just unboxing things. I'm just watching you open stuff.
Yeah, who cares to see that?
I don't understand.
I know.
And I
It
walk
is-
in my living room and the princess or His Royal Highness will be watching a YouTube video of someone unboxing toothpaste. I mean, just anything. I'm like, why?
Well, I've got one that I watched, and it made the algorithm show it to me more because I watched, and it's in China, and this lady's unboxing all these little implements for the kitchen, for the bathroom, and
I've seen those. Yes, and
she'll
like
put the eggs in it, and she'll take it out and put the noodles in. Then she goes over here and
like the little foot
washer.
spun dishwasher.
Yeah, little dishwasher's about this big. And
it has a little pedal on it. You just push it, and it cleans the dishes.
Okay.
and their whole
that's a good-
house. I mean, she gets up in the morning, and the whole house is spotless. But she starts doing all this stuff and unboxing all these. They're just showing you
Gadgets.
all these gadgets,
Oh.
and it's going. Man, I need one of them.
I need some of that.
She's an influencer.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just no.
Hey, there's a horrible element about the internet and social media that is just ruining our kids, and we can talk about this ad for a whole bunch, and something's got to happen.
Well,
because it's ruining our kids.
so my algorithm currently, because my wife is showing me hers, and I'm like, what is your algorithm? I mean, why are you seeing these videos? Why they just pop up? No, they don't. They don't just pop up. That's the thing. That's the thing about algorithms.
Uh-huh.
It goes based on what you like.
watch. Yeah.
And used to, if she or the Munchkin had my iPad or my laptop and they were looking at something, I could tell you the next day exactly everything they looked at because it would be popping up in my algorithms, right? And so one day I'm on Facebook and it's like the ads that are coming up, and it was for like leather pants and handcuffs and a dog pen, and I'm like,
You're going to have a seventh kid on the way.
Mrs. Sanford has something planned I need to know about.
She gonna put me in some chains.
You're gonna
And in a dog
handcuff
pen.
me to a dog pen, leather pants. I mean,
pants spank me with it.
This is taking a turn.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
We went from talking about the Bible.
That's right.
Now we're
It's really all over the place.
Now we're
here.
sadomasochism.
Okay, so number 2,
In bondage, by the way.
dumpling bake.
What?
Dumpling bake. Evidently, that was a viral recipe this year. I didn't even know anything about
I didn't get it.
No.
But
Bet you Martha did.
basically, it's you take dumplings like the frozen ones at the store,
Yeah.
and whatever's in them, whether it's seafood or it's spinach or sausage, whatever. And there's some recipe that you make baking those in the oven.
Okay.
But that was evidently the number 2 search this year in America. Number 1, Charlie Kirk. And that was I
that's
was
a good
like,
search.
you know what? I if I would have had to guess ahead of time, I wouldn't have thought about that. But yeah, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
He had a profound impact on our college age kids in America, even in his death. And it was so ironic that the moment that he was shot, he had been asked about shootings of
School shootings and stuff. Yeah.
And he was answering that, and that kid shot him. But like his wife said, you thought you killed this, but you just awakened a giant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Well, it's the first martyr that we can remember.
Yeah.
Right.
My mom can, live through the days of John F. Kennedy,
John F.
Martin
Kennedy.
Luther King, and all that kind of happened around the same time. But she said, this reminds her of that.
But there's a great awakening among the teen and the 20-year-olds.
Let me just tell you, if you watched that memorial service that they had for him,
Yeah.
and you didn't notice the atmosphere, and I'm not just talking about on screen, I'm talking about in America, then your blanket's broke.
We were moving forward.
It is. There has been a spiritual awakening. Now, what will the fruits of that become? I don't know. I mean, there was a great awakening in the 1800s, and that great awakening brought about Abraham Lincoln. He was brought to the Lord via that great awakening in the 1800s. So, what does this great awakening bring? I don't know. I don't know, and it may not be in our lifetime. But I believe there are seeds that were planted that the Bible says that things happen based on seed, time, and harvest.
Yeah.
And so I believe the seed was planted, and now we're in the time portion. And what that harvest will be, I don't know.
Yeah.
But coming up in a minute, we're going to take a break. But coming up in a minute, we will talk about what is your 2026 bingo card?
Yeah.
What is it going to look like? You know, because you hear people say, oh, I didn't have that on my bingo card for 2025.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about lottery numbers.
Okay.
And we'll do that. Plus, we have some questions for Laney and just some general questions about financial planning and financial management. And we'll do all that coming up right after this on Off the Back Porch.
Everybody loves a parade, and hilarious pizza throws parades all the week long. Bring the family in for your favorites, or explore the variety that Larry's Pizza offers. Come join us at Larry's Pizza for the greatest parade ever.
With the name you trust, you can count on us. Glen Mechanical, plumbing, heating, and air.
For over 6 decades, Glen Mechanical has been specializing in HVAC, plumbing, and all mechanical jobs. 3 generations family-owned and operated since 1956. Glen Mechanical's business is based on relationships. They support and give back to the communities they work in. Contact them for all of your HVAC, plumbing, and mechanical needs. GlenMechanical.com.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's.
When it comes to your family's financial future, peace of mind matters. At Harrison Financial Management, they are right here to help you plan, grow, and protect what matters most. Whether you're planning for retirement, investing wisely, or securing your family's future, they will guide you every step of the way. Harrison Financial Management, your future, their commitment.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer. I'm Boomer. This is Sandy.
No, you're not. Tell them right. You try that all the time thinking I'm going to pay the bill.
You do. I mean,
I have, but I'm not.
So if I come into your business and I charge it to my account as Boomer, you know I'm Boomer.
Try it again. See how that works.
Now there's pictures of Boomer when I go up in places, and I'm like, they look at that picture. And I said, no, that's the guy you don't allow here. That's him. Unless he's here to pay the bill, then you allow him.
So Martha, when she was a child, decided she didn't like this certain person. They had done her wrong. And she and her friend ordered a bunch of hamburgers and had it sent to her house. And finally, in the paper, they were in civics class or something. She's looking at the paper to clip out something. And under the help wanted or, the classifieds, it's I ain't going to say her name. She says, will not accept any more short orders.
Oh.
She was putting it out there that they had done it to her several times. And
gosh.
They'd call her and use her phone number. They'd call them and said, Miss So-and-so, you're ready. I did not order anything. So anyway.
That's funny. That's funny. And our special guest this week is Laney Mitcham. And Laney is not only happens to be Boomer's financial planner, but also mine as well. And invited her to come on. And she's like, what are we going to talk about? I said, probably nothing in particular that's important. But I did tell her we would ask her some questions. And one of the ones that for our people out there who may not have a full understanding, I said, for example, one of the questions, what's the difference between a 401k and an IRA, and an IRA and a Roth IRA?
Okay. So a 401k is going to be a retirement plan that's offered by your employer. Some of us have that opportunity and some of us don't. Usually with a 401k, you can contribute a percentage of your income or a flat dollar amount up to a certain amount. For 2026, I made a note just in case you asked. For 2026, the amount has increased to $24,500, and then there's a catch up if you're over 50. There's also, we'll get to Roth in a minute, but that is a typically employer-sponsored plan. Most people don't have those if they don't have an offering or if they're self-employed. An IRA has a contribution limit in 2026 of $7,500, and you can open either a traditional or a Roth. With a traditional, you get an income tax deduction now, and you pay taxes when you retire and pull that money out. With a Roth, you get the income deduction later. And so you don't get any benefit now, but the money grows tax-free. And upon retirement, it can be withdrawn tax-free for your personal use.
And because we've had this discussion, you don't actually have to, quote unquote, be retired. In other words, you don't have to just like you're not working. That could be money but you have to be at least 59 and a half, correct?
You have to be 59 and a half to withdraw money from an IRA without a penalty, unless an exception applies, such as first-time home buyer, Social Security disabled, certain hardships. There are some exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, yes, 59 and a half. If you have a 401k, you can start withdrawing from that at age 55. Most people don't know that, but we have people who are trying to retire earlier and earlier. And under the rule of 55, as long as you leave that money in the 401k, you can withdraw from it at 55 or above.
And then what would be the benefit of a traditional IRA over a Roth, for example?
If you need the deduction now. And I always tell my clients that with Roth IRAs, time is the biggest function. The younger you are, the more sense the Roth IRA makes. The older we are or the higher income tax bracket we're in, the more sense it makes to do a traditional.
Mm-hmm. And I actually have both with you. I have a traditional and a Roth with you. And now, one of the things that I talked to her about, Boomer, was I said, what about liquidity? What are some investments that a person could make if they, let's say they had a windfall of cash. Mm-hmm. They won at the craps table, or a relative passed away and left them $50,000.
Sure.
But they're like, I don't know what I want to do with this money, but I don't want to just sitting here not making money. Mm-hmm. What are some options they have for liquidity?
It depends on how long that investment is intended for. So if you want it to be liquid, like say I might buy a house within the next year, but I want to put this money somewhere, rather than being in like a passbook savings account, it makes more sense to put it in a high yield money market, a CD, and even some kind of stable mutual funds. But we are careful if someone needs those funds within the first year or maybe even 2 years. We don't take any kind of risk because the market does fluctuate. You could wind up with less than you started with.
Yeah, mutual funds, I mean, the long term is the reward.
Absolutely.
And, 15 years or so before you, but I was talking with someone the other day and I was like, look, I know what my IRA was worth prior to 2008. Mm-hmm. And it took it till 2020 something to get back to there. Yeah. It took that hard of a hit in 08. Mm. And, look, I don't have a lot. Mm-hmm. It's certainly not enough that when it comes time to start drawing it, it's like, oh, he won't have money worries ever again. No, it's not that.
Not that one.
It's not that one. But there is a little something there, and it's made good money. It's done well, but it's also been there for the long haul. Uh-huh. Yeah. I think 21 years now. It's been.
And that's the thing. It's consistency. You start out, and you don't have to have a lot of money to start out. You just have to be consistent. We feel like we toil away and save these little bits of money, and it doesn't really matter. But in the end, is where the magic happens. The last few years, the compounding interest really seems to kick in, and that's where the amount really grows.
So, for example, I started my IRA with $125, and I think I put $21,000 in it up till a certain point. And then it made its way up to $140,000. So my $20,000 turned into $140,000 through just long-term, sensible investing.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that you and I talked about when I was moving everything to your office, I said, look, I have some concerns, and I am by no means a social activist but I have some concerns. What kind of companies are we investing in? Do you get a lot of that?
We don't get a lot of that, but we do have some. And there are socially responsible mutual fund companies out there. And then a lot of funds do have, they have socially responsible funds within their fund family. Some people don't want to invest in Philip Morris, for example, or Budweiser, which, used to be Budweiser. There are a lot of different companies that, people feel, have moral, whether it be cannabis or a company that provides funds for abortion clinics or, whatever the cause may be. We also have the option in our managed products, which are groups of stocks that we buy for people, to exclude certain companies. So you can also request that certain companies be excluded from your investment mix.
One of the things that she and I talked about, and this was a year ago, and I was like, I don't know that, companies like BlackRock and Vanguard are going to fare well under a Trump administration. He's been very clear about there's not going to be any wars, and she's like, oh, but they will.
Yeah.
They will do just well. They will do just fine.
Oh yeah, defense companies have done fantastic.
Yeah, they've had very few down years, haven't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Australia's buying a lot of it.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously, you want to start as early as possible.
Yes, time is the key.
It is. It is. Now, what about, let's just say, well, my youngest, he's 6, and a grandparent comes and says, hey, I want to help start him a college fund.
Mm-hmm.
What are the options there?
So really, okay, so let me give you the ups and downs of that. So there are 2 college fund options. The first is a 529 plan, which allows you to put currently up to $19,000 a year into a plan. That's a state-sponsored plan. And it's possible to get a state income tax deduction if you chose a plan from the state that you live in. But those funds grow tax deferred, and if used for educational purposes, they're tax free when they're withdrawn. So it's a fantastic plan. There's also a plan called a Coverdell education account, and it is very similar in nature. It works kind of the same, but the limit's only $2,000 a year. There are a few minor differences, but it's for smaller investors. But the same thing is true. Funds grow tax deferred. They can be invested in mutual funds or stocks or whatever. And then when you pull those funds out for educational purposes, tax free.
And so let's say that they put that in the name of my son, and it's time for him to go to college. And he's like, okay, I know I have this money over here. Is it just as simple as contacting, whomever has that money and say, hey, I need this much for classes or what?
Yeah, we sometimes, for some clients, they prefer that we send those funds directly to the educational institution. And for others, they pay the bill and just have us reimburse. It's up to you if you were audited to prove where that money went.
Gotcha. Then what about just, yes, of course, teaching your children to save is great. But if you're using a passbook savings account, you're not teaching them that their money can make money.
It was very important to me to instill that in my daughter. And so there's a bank here in town that has a savings account feature for kids. And with that savings account, they have perks. So every time, if the child makes a deposit in a month, they get a free skating rink ticket or, whatever. Yeah. There's something every month. And so I use that as an opportunity for her at a very small age to learn to save. Now, the interest there in that account was not good at all. But once she had a sum of money, then I started teaching her about the ins and outs of investing and how that works. And she started her investment account. And I matched her, when she was a kid, I matched her dollar for dollar for anything that she invested. Until she started making so much money, I quit. Yeah. But I really did. I tried to instill that in her from the get-go so that she would go into life, with that mindset.
But now she's married, and her husband are going to buy a home, and they actually have money to do that.
They do. She had a cake making business when she was a kid, and she
very good cakes, by the way.
Yeah, she did, and she saved that money all along, never spent it, and she has enough money for a house down payment on a house. And so
shut up.
Yeah, she did. She invested it in the market over the last during COVID, and it's grown very well and it's done very nicely. And so she's all on her own is going to buy a house at 21 years old.
So if you had advice to give to a young man or a young woman, married or not, what would that advice be?
I actually have more and more young people come to see me. It's one of the most fun things I do in my job. It's not the most profitable, but it is a fun thing to do. I like to sit down with young people, and especially if they're interested, and get them started on the right path. And usually I run some projections and show them just exactly how much, how easy it is to have $1 million at age 60 with very, very little input. It's just a function of time and consistency. What I would encourage people to do is to open a Roth IRA as soon as possible, because the younger you are, the better. When I was younger, a Roth IRA had a limit of $2,000 a year, and you can't really make a lot of. Still, it's fantastic, but you couldn't make the tracks you can now. So now a young person can put up to $7,500 a year in either a Roth 401k if it's offered at work, or a Roth IRA. It's the best thing to do for yourself. Imagine that. I mean, imagine to be able to put your hands on $2 million tax-free at retirement.
Yeah. And again, if you have an employer that's offering a 401k where they're matching any portion of what you're putting in, that's free money.
That's a no-brainer. So often I have people come in and say, we have a 401k at work, but I just don't do it. And I say, well, how much does your employer match? 6%? Yeah. So you're leaving 6% of your annual salary on the table? Yeah. Don't do that. It's free money. Don't walk away from it.
Think about this.
Give it at least 6 if you're going to match it.
If you make, let's just say then that you're making $100,000 a year.
Okay.
And
easy to figure.
You're putting 6% in. So you're putting $6,000, and your employer's matching 6%. That's another $6,000. I mean, it's not rocket science.
No.
That's free money for you.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. And I teach at Southern Arkansas University, and I love to teach personal finance, because so many people, they may graduate with degrees and be successful, doctors, lawyers, whatever, but if they don't have the knowledge, of how to manage their own personal finances, doesn't matter how much money you make. It's a matter of what you do with it and how you manage it.
My dad was a perfect example of that. Daddy made so much money in life, and of course he was single, so he didn't have anyone to temper his spending.
Yeah.
And so if he just wanted a new boat, he just went and got one. Wanted a four-wheeler, he just went and got it. Yeah. Wanted a tractor, he just went and bought it. And the problem is when he retired, he still lived his life that way. And
it wasn't sustainable.
It was not. And Daddy went into his grave basically like a whole lot of people hope to, and that was with like $11 in his account. He was broke. He just didn't know it.
It worked.
It worked. He carried it with him all the way to the grave. The problem was he didn't have a burial policy. He didn't have a life insurance policy. And, the funeral home was great. Here's what they did. They sat down with me and said, "Oh, Mr. Sanford.
We're so sorry."
And that whisper, "We're so sorry. The passing of your father. And we'll be happy to bury him. When did you want to have that service?" I said, "Well, it was a Friday." I said, "Next Friday." And they were like, "Okay, bring us $8,000 by Wednesday, or there will be no funeral."
Yeah.
And that was how that went. And so my wife and I literally had like 5 days to come up with $8,000. I still don't know how we did it. I still don't know how we were able to pull that off. I ended up with $8,300. And so we spent $8,000 on the funeral and $300 on a casket spray. And, then by the way, as they were turning the dirt over, putting him in the ground, his probate attorney contacted me and said, "Hey, I can handle all this. Just bring me $3,500 and we'll get started." Okay. That's $3,500 I'll never see again. So.
Well, what was there to probate?
Well, there was land and a few things, but nothing much. I mean, not along those lines. But the saying is that nothing brings out vultures like a dead body, and that could be proven.
Truer words have never been spoken.
It was funny how many people, evidently my dad promised they could have this or they could have that, or he'd sell them this or sell them that. And I'm like, you know what? I said, the one thing my daddy ever listened to me about was he has a will. And so we're going to wait for him to open the will, and then we'll do whatever it says. Now, I knew what it said because I was executor. But I said, we'll just wait and see what the will says. Oh, okay.
And nowhere in it.
Nowhere in there.
He's going to give you that wheelbarrow.
Yeah. Yeah. That brand new lawnmower.
Not yours.
It's not in there. It's not in there for you. Sorry. And, that tractor and, all the other stuff. And I mean, it was family from like way extended family. Hey, by the way, sorry about your dad. He told me I could have blank. And it really did become my common response. Like, well, the great news is he has a will, and we'll just wait for that. And
they didn't come to the funeral, did they?
No.
Let me. You've asked some questions of Laney, but let me add something about their personality there where she works. And like you, we don't have a big portfolio. And when Martha decided to go with Laney, we went in and she sat down with us and explained it to us like we were multimillionaires. I said, Laney, thank you so much for giving us she gave us the big show.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way she treats everybody, I'm sure.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, but your nest egg is just as important to you as anyone else's.
No, and
I always tell
people
it's all relative because it's no matter what, it's what you have to live on. And it's my responsibility to make sure that you don't outlive your money.
Yeah.
Martha says I can't die first.
Which is so different than when I opened a 401k one time. And they handed me this sheet and said, look, just check on here 5-10 things you want to invest in. And I'm like, well, I need to know a little bit more about, there's a little bit of something about them there. And so I'm looking and I get my phone out and I'm looking up and, because again, I'm not like a social warrior, but there's just some causes I don't want to celebrate or support. And not like my little bit of money was going to make any difference, but if it's not going to make a difference, then you won't even notice I'm not investing in you, right?
Yeah. So I'll feel good and you won't notice it.
So I filled it all out and I handed it to the guy and he's like, phew, you're investing like a guy who's 30. Instead of being in my mid-40s or whatever it was at the time. He said, you're investing like a guy who's 30.
Well, you didn't say, well, it's too late for you on this.
Yeah. I said, look, I've got about this much more time to invest, okay? So it is what it is.
We're going to put it in.
Yeah. So.
Well, I was with a job that I had for less than 5 years, and my fund and what they matched was $47,000 in just 5 years. And, I wasn't making a lot, but I was able to put that much back, $50,000 back in just about 3 years. So
it's never too late to start.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's a common misconception. Unfortunately, most people don't visit with us until their mid-40s or 50s, and that's a conversation that should happen a lot younger. But it's never too late to start. You have to start somewhere, and even if you feel like you're behind or things, let's just face it, life happens. Ooh, it happens to all of us, right? But even after that happens, you got to get yourself back on track. We can veer off course, but we have to get back on. And doing that and keeping your eyes focused on a goal will get you there. It might take a little bit longer than you had anticipated, but it's important to start no matter when you start.
That's it. Good. It is important to start.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have more of Off the Back Porch right after this.
Who can solve this equation?
Ooh! Me.
Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
All right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For longer than most of us can remember, Timber Lane Meat Market has been a staple of our community, where quality meats and friendly faces come standard. From everyday dinners to weekend cookouts, make it fresh, make it local, make it Timber Lane. Be sure to check out the daily lunch specials and like us on Facebook. Timber Lane Meat Market, 1336 West Hillsboro in El Dorado. Proud to be part of South Arkansas and even more proud to be displayed on your table.
Non-stop phone calls, registered mail, repossessions, or threats of lawsuits from creditors, and it seems like no one is willing to let you hit pause and just catch your breath. You need the help of Robert Rushing and the Rushing Law Firm. Bankruptcy is not the end. It can be a chance for a fresh start. The Rushing Law Firm goes to work for you, letting you hit that pause button and start over. Call the Rushing Law Firm today at 870-875-2940 or stop by the office at 725 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. The Rushing Law Firm.
serving South Arkansas for 25 years, and all the while expanding and growing throughout the state. ProMed Ambulance is proving their motto of world-class care and hometown values. For example, their new mobile integrated healthcare communications center. This state-of-the-art facility allows communication specialists to work directly with local 911 call centers to ensure the closest medical team is always dispatched to any emergency. World-class care and hometown values. For more information and career opportunities, go to ProMedAmbulance.com.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch with Sandy and Boomer, and he's Boomer, I'm not, although sometimes I do pretend to be him. And Laney Mitcham is our special guest this week. Laney, thank you for being with us again.
Absolutely.
I thought I would share this with y'all. This just happened a couple days ago. The North Carolina Education Lottery announced a Pick 3 drawing that resulted in 5,151 tickets bearing the winning numbers of 911. The $1.43 million in prizes, lottery officials said, from the Pick 3 resulted in 5,100 plus tickets winning the top prize. According to radio station WFDD in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, 37% of the winning tickets were purchased by people whose career is either in law enforcement, firefighting, or emergency medical service personnel. That's 1,905 people out of the 5,100 plus winners. They say it's the single largest non-generic demographic known to win a lottery.
Wow.
And so 911.
So they were all apt to pick that one.
That's their Pick 3 numbers. So 37% of those winners were police, firemen, EMS workers, some first responders, whatever. 911 was their call. We've been talking about things that happened in 2025, and here's some things that happened this year. So one of them that I had put, that I was thinking, and I double-checked the date, and I was wrong. I was going to put down the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul that happened on Netflix, but that was in November of 24. So it wasn't this year. But here's some other things that happened in 2025. See if you remember these things. The CEO of Astronomer, Andy Byron, along with the head of Human Resources, Kristen Cabot, caught on a kiss cam at a Coldplay concert.
At the Coldplay concert.
Boy, and did they not react well.
And her life is torpedoed since that.
Yes.
Don't know that his has.
No, he's matter of fact, I was reading a story about him today in prep for this, and it said, he's still seen, him and his wife are still seen out publicly, and he's wearing his wedding ring, and she was already
her life is ruined.
Oh yeah,
but his is.
But now I will say this also: she's also been very vocal since then, and he's been very quiet.
Okay,
and by that, like,
so she's been poking the dog, and he's been
she's a little bit, This also happened this year. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged. The rapture did not happen.
Again.
Again, every year so far we could say that. But there was actually a date that it was supposed to have happened earlier this year
in 25.
Yeah,
yes.
And Boomer and I actually did a bit here on the podcast one day. We just we're talking about evidently the rapture didn't happen, and then there was a bright flash, and you heard a trumpet, and then when the camera came back, there was nobody sitting here.
Oh my gosh!
And then we walked back and we're like, oh, well, wait, that's what it would have looked like had the rapture happened right then. So
at least you would have been in it, right?
Yeah,
you wouldn't have been left
behind. That's right, exactly. Yeah. Val Kilmer passed away. Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday.
Why, Johnny Ringo.
And he was in with
Top Gun.
Top Gun, yeah.
Yep. He, the Saint. I mean, Val Kilmer played lots of great roles, but I don't think any of them ever better than playing Doc Holliday in Tombstone.
He just looked sick the whole time.
He did. Why, Johnny Ringo? You look like someone just danced across your grave. So, Judge Frank Caprio died at age 88. Do you know who Judge Frank Caprio is?
I don't know that one.
I can almost promise you've seen him. He's out of Providence, Rhode Island, and he's a judge who's known for his compassion. And so it would be traffic court, and there's always cameras in there, and he would just like, hey, tell me what's going on. And they would explain to him, and he was one of those guys who's like, okay.
He was very...
He was very forgiving as a judge. Yeah. He and his son would do or I think it was his grandson, would do a cooking show together. Mm-hmm. And I cooked a whole lot of the stuff. I
never saw their cooking show, but
they cooked a lot of great Italian food.
I saw his videos all the time.
Cacio di pepe, which is basically just cheese and pepper. Cheese and peppers. I
sounded like he was cussing at us there for a minute.
Right?
I thought so too.
I cooked that a couple of times.
Cacio
Very
de
good.
pepe.
Cacio de pepe.
You cacio de pepe.
Cacio de pepe.
No, there will be no cacio de pepe of me. There will be cacio pepe of you.
Also this year, Robert Redford.
My favorite actor.
Yeah, Robert. Woo.
Hulk Hogan.
Big Hulk.
Diane Keaton.
My favorite actress. I lost my favorite actor and actress in the same year.
Really? And Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
I'm sure wherever Dick Cheney is,
it's not in heaven. I don't. That's
hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine that it is.
I don't know.
Hey, that's between him and God.
He had to answer a bunch of questions.
Yeah, he did.
About them WMDs. So, and then also this happened this year because this happened last week. Jake Paul got his jaw broken in 2 places by Anthony Joseph.
And Anthony Joseph was supposed to take it easy on him, but he didn't.
Well,
that big right that he threw and it crunched
that
his
haymaker,
face.
man.
This bowl will never be the same again.
No,
I don't know if you saw this, Laney, but
no,
I heard about it.
I watched it, and of course, I'm angry because of the Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah.
Because let me just tell you something, and I will die on this hill. Mike Tyson would absolutely annihilate and kill Jake Paul in an unscripted match.
Yeah, that was scripted.
But the problem was, and just if you don't believe me, go back and watch it on Netflix. Mike Tyson never threw an uppercut. The entire match.
That's
and you saw him several times where he was poised to throw it, and he stops himself.
Mm-hmm.
And
So do you think it was rigged?
Yeah.
We watched it. We went to a party and watched it.
I don't know about rigged. I just know that it was scripted in that he was not allowed
to knock him
by
out.
contract. He was not allowed to throw an uppercut.
Oh, okay.
And anyone who's ever watched a Mike Tyson fight knows that is his most deadly punch, is that uppercut.
Yeah,
and
he'll
like I
punch
said,
you in the ribs, and then when you
yeah,
bend
and when
over.
you wince, and then comes that other side with the uppercut, and it's over. Okay, over. Yeah, that was. That was so strange that night because Netflix on our TV was just it couldn't handle
buffering,
it.
yeah.
It was really buffering.
So we ended up like everyone had their phones out at my house watching it on our phones.
So you can pick it up on your phone, but not
all
on Netflix.
of us could watch it on our phones at the same time, but one TV on Netflix couldn't do it.
Well, that's not the TV's fault. That was that was Netflix bandwidth.
It was their bandwidth, right? And I think they learned a lesson on that for sure. But I'm still angry about that because
especially if you pay for Netflix. I don't pay for Netflix.
You don't have Netflix?
I have it,
but you just don't pay for it.
I just don't pay for it.
Oh, it's a bootleg type situation.
Oh no! So one of our friends came over and she wanted to watch it, so it's there. So
keep them cards and letters coming, folks. That's care of Boomer.
Hey, when she comes back again to visit Martha again, she can take it off if she wants to.
Okay,
but until then,
I'm surprised that
then I'm nanny. I am nanny on that.
I'm
Netflix.
surprised it does it because, at one time Netflix said, hey, by the way, we noticed you have different IP addresses logging in. And if you want to do that, it's fine, but it's going to cost you extra more per month.
More.
And I had kids in college, so I'm like, yeah, I'll just pay the extra. And now they're like, you can't even pay for that.
Yeah, my daughter had to get her own the other day.
They want you to get your own account.
Yeah, but it didn't lower my bill any, by the way.
Hey, I want to tell you.
Freaking Netflix.
Yeah, any of them, or any phone company. Ooh.
Well, don't even get me started on them. But I've told you before, Hulu is the Dollar Tree of streaming services as far as I'm concerned, and it's just not good. It's like it could be, but it's not.
The Dollar Tree.
Yeah, it's like them AI generated things that pop up on your Temu. It's like I know it's not going to look like that when it comes in.
Or if somebody walking.
Yeah. So, let's see. According to dictionary.com, the word of the year.
Okay. It's not discipline.
6-7.
And that was one of our. Don't do it. Don't do it. Even at your age, it's horrible.
It is. It is. You're right.
Don't do that.
Oxford University, however, their word of the year, and they've been doing it since 2004. Oxford University's word of the year is rage bait.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
The other two top contenders were aura farming.
I don't know what that is.
Trying to subtly make yourself out to be cooler than you are.
That's aura farming?
That's aura farming. And then the second one was biohacking, which is getting one's body in a better and healthier condition. Why can't we just say working out? Why's it got to be biohacking?
It's always, each new generation has their own lingo.
Previous words of the year include podcast in 2005.
Oh, there you
Somebody
go.
dropped the set in their ring.
Yeah. Podcast in 2005. Emoji in 2015. And then here was one I had never heard of. In 2022, the word of the year was goblin mode.
No.
I've never heard of that.
It was used to describe people who refuse to return to normal society after COVID-19. Goblin mode.
I know some people that are still in goblin mode.
Yeah, I do too.
I see people every day wearing a mask, driving a car by themselves.
I saw someone yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, or walking outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. According to Babbel, the language site, and the closed captioning company, the Captioning Group, the two most mispronounced words in 2025, Zorhan Mamdani, and the Louvre.
Because it burned?
No, the break-in.
The break-in.
The break-in.
The
big break-in.
Yeah, that's right.
Crown jewels.
What burned?
Well, you had the fire at Notre Dame.
Yeah,
a couple
that's
years
several
ago.
years ago, though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
also
they still hadn't found. Sorry, they still hadn't found the
crown jewels.
Crown jewels.
No.
You know, that's really not that surprising to me. We went to the Louvre last year over the summer, and you know, it's a huge, huge place, and we never saw anybody that worked there. You know, and we talked about it a lot while we were in there. You know, we're standing right in front of the, you know,
Mona Lisa or whatever.
Right. Now, there were a lot of people around it. But a lot of that stuff that, you know, these are ancient artifacts and they're worth, you know, unbelievable amounts of money, and no one's standing there. I mean, what keeps you from destroying them?
Yeah, spraying it with a can of spray paint.
Yeah.
Or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, throwing paint on it.
Yeah,
Or
I
poop.
wasn't too surprised when they took off with those jewels, to be honest.
Yeah, but they have not found them yet. The other terms that were most mispronounced this year, making the list, acetaminophen. And believe it or not, the term "I love you, you're a wonderful man" was often mispronounced as "get away from me, you fat bald idiot." Maybe that was just at my house. But
I can see that. Loser.
Yeah,
that's good. I wish I'd have wrote that. Did your 9-year-old write that one?
She could have.
She could have.
She could have. Let's see. The state of Illinois also every year they put out the top most rejected personalized license plates. So every year they said this year they had 52,000 plus requests for personalized plates, and they rejected over 500 of them.
I'm your daddy.
Well, this year
Who's your daddy?
The number one was IBPOOPN. IB Poopin.
Yeah.
Was the number one most
Why
rejected.
would anybody want that on their car?
Yeah, because you look by them and you go.
Number two was ICUP.
Yeah, no.
56,000 applications for vanity plates, and more than 550 were rejected for being, quote, inflammatory, profane, offensive, or just too difficult to read. Some of the other rejected plates included BBL. And the person who wrote this story said, which I understand is to be something about a Brazilian something lover. I was like,
Brazilian butt lift.
Brazilian butt lift. That's not what BBL stands for. But anyway.
It stands for barrel.
No.
I don't know what it stands for.
My sister had on her Corvette 2BZ4UQT.
Too busy for you, quiet.
Cutie.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
She was too busy for you. I am too busy.
Other rejected plates include blue ballin'.
No.
And BDASMOM. Badass mom.
Badass mom.
Yep.
I like that one now.
Yeah. I don't know why that one would be.
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah, that's just one. I think you could let that one slide.
So I go to get my license plate on my truck years ago. I said, I want one of them Ducks Unlimited ones. And, that's $60. I said, okay, well, that's not bad. Just a little bit more. It's $60 every year.
Every year. And year 2, that plate's not as cool as it was in year 1.
Right? So
I took it off. I kept it in my glove box. I said, I can show it to you.
When my son was when he was at OBU, I went with him to get his plates, and I was like, hey, get the OBU plates. He's like, Dad, it's like every penny I got. I said, I'll pay for the plates. Just get the OBU plates. And so he did, and I paid for that part of it.
But not his education?
No, well, Murphy Oil paid for most of that.
I got you.
But no, he never cost me 1 penny, not 1 cent in his education, not one. And of course, neither did Cam. Micah did because she's transferred schools.
Yeah,
and she transferred from the University of Arkansas to Louisiana Tech, and so there was some costs.
What does Louisiana Tech cost now per year?
It's very expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
So when I was there, quarter system, you pay 3 times a year. It was $700, less than $800.
Oh, it's gone up a little.
No, I know it has. I have a grandson that's there.
Yeah,
but I got a music scholarship that paid for half of it, of that 700 and something. And of course, now I had an apartment and all that stuff. But now, even when Amy went 20-something years ago, it was double or triple what I was paying.
Yeah.
I want to say you're looking at close to $11,000 a year.
$8,000 to $11,000 a year.
It was. I know after scholarships, it was going to be comparable in price to OBU for Kimber, because OBU was offering so much more.
Yeah.
Louisiana Tech was being kind of stingy with their money.
Yeah.
At the time.
Unless you're an engineer.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, they love engineers there.
Or are you a Middle Eastern engineer person? They'll fund you.
So, all right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will wrap up here. This is Off the Back Porch, back after this.
Derek Henry.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto! Home!
Okay. And this is Auto again, right?
Auto!
Hey, this is my living room.
Home!
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derek.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Need equipment for your next job? Don't settle for the traditional rental experience.
The rental experience with Equipment Share is a great experience. We rent everything from dozers to skid loaders, mini excavators, even smaller hand tools. They've always got what we need. They're timely. The billing is quick and accurate. The guys are able to set it up. They do it through their phone. I love Equipment Share. Renting with Equipment Share is not like any other company out there. It's 1,000 times better.
Every gift tells a story, and at Especially For You, they help you make it unforgettable. Birthdays, wedding showers, baby showers, graduations are just because. Especially For You creates one-of-a-kind gifts made to touch the heart. Anyone can buy a gift card, but the best gifts aren't bought. They're made at Especially For You. Stop by and visit Especially For You and find the perfect gift for life's special moments.
Hey, welcome back for more of Off the Back Porch here at Main Street Pizza. Boomer, our favorite place, where they have brick-baked pizza.
Yeah.
Brick-baked is best.
It is.
And the coldest beer in town.
Coldest beer in town, and where the locals love to eat.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So I said it before, you ought to do commercials.
You ought to do commercials. Oh, you mean me do commercials?
Yeah, you ought to.
I did used to.
Yeah.
Wasn't very good at it, but I did.
He actually was very good at it. The problem was he just didn't make any money.
There's that.
Because he had a cheap boss. That's what it was.
Okay, you can make commercials, but we're not going to pay.
We're not going to pay for that part.
Now, if you were to go out and sell some radio,
yeah,
we may pay you for that.
We may pay you for that. But so I thought I would, Boomer, I thought I would go ahead and make us a bingo card.
Okay.
For 2026.
For you and I?
Yeah. We'll just share it. If that's okay.
Can I approve this, or I don't have any say in it? Or?
I mean, you can approve it or not. It's still going to be our bingo card.
This should be interesting.
Yeah. Thank you.
These are the predictions that we have for 2026. By the way, I did see a group of Peruvian priests yesterday.
Downtown?
No.
Here? Yeah.
No.
Oh, we'll shut up. Go ahead.
I saw a group of Peruvian priests yesterday made their predictions for 2026. And these priests have been known to be correct more often than not.
Is that the priest where Richard Pryor went in there and said, I want a knife?
No, that was Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, that's what I meant, Eddie Murphy, and it wasn't Peru.
It wasn't Peru.
It was like...
It was somewhere cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they...
Up on the mountains.
Nepal,
thank
that's
you.
Right. Viva Nepal. I had to remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You remember that movie, The Golden Child?
I have not seen that movie.
oh, it's
Really?
a good movie.
Great movie.
I
Yeah.
have to look it up.
No,
Yeah.
it is. It has some great funny spots.
It's funny. It's real funny. Now the graphics in it leave a lot to be desired.
Well,
even back then,
it was
did,
the
though.
80s.
Yeah, but even back then, they were like, okay, y'all
Okay,
use
that
that
doesn't
same
look-
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer graphics is what y'all did. And I thought I saw Frosty over there a second ago. So, but these priests did predict that the president of Venezuela would not finish this year or 2026 in office.
Yeah, that's a good prediction.
Yeah, pretty good prediction.
We've gone from the Caribbean, from the Atlantic to the Caribbean to their dock.
Yeah.
And I think we're moving in
Yeah,
from the dock to
we're pretty much knocking on the door.
yeah. Dock.
Yeah. But they had predicted correctly. They predicted the Israeli-Hamas war.
So did the Bible.
Yeah, but the Bible didn't give us a year.
Well, okay.
And they I can't remember all of them, but they have more correct predictions than incorrect.
Okay.
But how these priests operate is they take ayahuasca.
They take what?
Ayahuasca.
What is that?
It's hallucinogenic.
Oh.
It's the stuff that
so the devil tells them what's going to happen.
it's the stuff that Ravi
White. Shankar and Ron White.
White took to, Ron White went down and did an ayahuasca trip and quit drinking. They say that a lot of soldiers with PTSD, it helps to rewire their brain. And Ron White,
I can tell you, any of them hallucinogenics you take going to rewire your brain.
yeah, whether for the good or the bad, it's going to
Whether
rewire.
you want it to or not.
Yeah. So, anyway, they did make some predictions, but these would be the predictions that Boomer and I are making.
Oh, these are our, okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Bingo card for 2026, another government shutdown.
It's going to happen, yeah.
I think that's pretty
High
safe.
likelihood there.
High percentage.
Death of a megastar actor or actress.
That's a given.
Pretty much every
Yeah.
year. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Now, if you were to say who it was or where they're from.
55 is a given in a bingo match. It's just a matter if it gets pulled or not. So, Democrats take back either the House or the Senate.
That could very well happen.
Yeah, it may be both.
A Supreme Court opening.
I'm trying to think who's ready to.
The one that keeps coming to my mind is Clarence Thomas. I almost said Clarence Carter. Oh, dear Lord.
Clarence Carter.
So stroke it. That's what I be doing.
We will stroke it.
Yeah.
Just really runs off the rails
It
fast.
does,
doesn't it?
really.
Yeah.
That's this entire show. That's everything. I told you before you got here, we're idiots. Okay. But yeah, Clarence Thomas is the one that comes to mind. I think would probably be
Neil Gorsuch. It's not old enough yet.
no. Amy Coney Barrett. None of the ones that Trump
Just got in.
By the way,
They're all in their 50s.
How many presidents in one term?
Get 4.
He
Yeah.
got 3, I think. Wasn't it just 3?
Neil Gorsuch,
Amy Coney Barrett,
and
then the guy that they tried to say
he had sex with
he choked her at a party or
choked her at a
whatever.
party or something.
Oh, yeah. That was just a long path, wasn't it?
It was. But
I think there were 3. Were there 3?
I think it was
That's
3.
yeah.
But that's a lot for
Yeah.
one presidential term.
Yeah.
And that's why they didn't want him in there so badly. Didn't want him to have that.
Yeah.
Because that's really the most influential thing a president
You
can do,
better believe-
right?
You better believe it.
Right.
And judgeships to appoint judges all over the country.
Yeah. Because they're lifetime appointments.
Yeah.
And anyway, so a Supreme Court opening. That's
possible.
It is possible. Young people being able to purchase a home becomes political fodder.
Well, it has already. And
That's what I'm thinking.
And there are those that say, in fact, Charlie Kirk told the president that if we didn't make it affordable for the 30-year-olds to buy a home, that we would lose generations because they will be convinced by the Mondami effect that you can get everything if said I'm working hard, I can't get nothing.
Yeah,
the
just get it for
government ought
free.
to
Get it for free.
the government ought to pay me for it. And they haven't seen enough of what went on in the past to understand. So yeah, it's already happening.
Look, not everyone should be a homeowner.
No,
Not everyone should be.
And we proved that several years ago with when Clinton was in there and he wanted everyone to.
But the thing was, who in their right mind didn't realize that was going to end badly, poorly? I mean, you had guys, but you could tell this. I mean, my kids and I used to sit in the early 2000s, in the early aughts, and laugh because we loved to watch that show on, I don't remember what it was, the Home Channel or whatever it is, and House Hunters.
Yeah.
And it was like, so I design erasers for pencils, and my wife picks fruit, and our budget is $1.8 million. What the hell? Where are you getting? How are you going to make that note?
Bill going to pay it. Bill going to pay that for me.
How are you going to make that note? You know, are they
Enter 2008?
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, then come to find out in these subprime mortgages, you
What
had
were they called? Jenny Mac and
Freddie Mac.
Freddie Mac.
Yeah, but
when are you coming
it was
back?
It was so bad. I mean, just there had to be a reckoning, and there was.
It was a hard fall.
It was a hard fall.
The problem for me, and I was telling one of my kids, and I had this discussion today. I said, I have no problem with the government bailing out Wall Street, none whatsoever. I have no problem with the government bailing out banks. Probably not the best answer, but we've seen what happens when the government doesn't do anything, and it was called the Great Depression.
Yeah.
You know, Herbert Hoover was blamed for the Great Depression, not for what he did, but what he didn't do. And so I'm like, I get it. I said, I have a problem, however, when you get bailed out and then your next annual report, you've got, you know, your CEO had a $96 million bonus. I have a problem. I don't think there should be any limit on what anyone should make, ever. There just has to be a better way to disclose that.
A little temperance would
Yeah,
help.
yeah. It could be one of those where, like, hey, we know you earned a $96 million bonus this year,
but could you
We're going to stretch that out over the next few years.
Yeah, the next 20, like.
Yeah. You know, if we can restructure baseball players' contracts where they're still being paid in their 50s,
they'd rather that probably.
You know, so that we're not, you know, because the team doesn't have this much money to give you right now.
$15 million payout or whatever.
$15 million, that won't even buy you
No,
a
I know,
rookie
whatever.
now. But
yeah.
But anyway, that's where I had a real problem when, you know, Goldman Sachs CEO it was over $100 million. You know, and I was like, oof.
Well, he solved a lot of problems.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. The fact that he didn't go to prison should have been all the things he needed. But, you know.
Well, it's like Chrysler. You had to bail them out. You can't let a corporation that large.
You can't.
Can't let them fail.
Literally are too big to fail. I get it. I totally understand.
What do you think? Because you know how to crunch numbers.
Right. Well, I believe in a capitalist society for sure. I do think a lot of the CEO pay and their bonuses should be merit-based, though. There wasn't a lot of merit.
Yeah.
You know, with those loans. It was just the saddest thing to watch people, you know, at a loan-to-equity ratio over 50%. I mean, it had to come down. And then when housing prices came down in 2008, it was unsustainable. And to see, you know, we didn't see that impact. It happened here, but we didn't see it like in Florida, you know, where you could drive into a neighborhood and just
entire little villages
abandoned
just abandoned
homes.
Yeah.
And I think we learned some lessons, but did we learn them? Is it that much better? I mean,
No.
people are still buying houses they can't afford, and houses have become unaffordable. So
You know,
it's a double-edged sword there.
And thus because our society, what's my note? They don't care how much I'm spending on the house.
Oh, yeah.
What's my note?
Richard always says that. People are not asking, you know, how much is it? It's how much is it per month? Is it affordable?
What's my monthly? Yes.
Yeah.
What's my note? Do you have any? Well, we have an interest-only loan. And, you know, the chances are that your home will be worth more eventually, but not
always.
Not if you're the average American who wants to move every 6.2 years. In 6.2 years, it may not be worth enough that you can get out of that house.
But you know, watching my parents and my brothers in the 60s and the 70s making money on every time they bought a new home when things were appreciating. When I started elementary school, the house we lived in, they bought it for $27,000, and obviously I didn't care. I wouldn't.
That's a lot of money.
And I didn't care what it was.
So you grew up rich.
Shut up. I grew up rich. Everybody thought I was rich. They don't have that Barry House money. Anyway, by the time that we moved from there, and they sold it for like in the 40s. Okay. And, you know, they had paid it down for, I was in sixth grade then, so for 6 years they had paid it down. And we moved out to a new subdivision, and they bought another house that was $45,000. And I lived there through junior high, and they sold that for a profit. I don't remember. And then we bought a house, a 2-story house, catty corner to where that first one was, for $84,000. And then when they moved from Morgan City to Oklahoma, they sold it for $108,000. So when I started time to buy a house, I said, shoot, let's buy houses, make money. But the first house I bought was for $108,000, a 2,000 square foot house and 13 acres at 14 3/4% interest.
Yeah.
My notes were $2,016 a month.
First house I ever bought, I paid $19,000, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and about 1,200 square feet. I paid $19,000. I think my note was like $180 something a month, and I left that closing thinking, how am I ever going to make this note?
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm ever going to pay this note.
Yeah.
And I've been very fortunate. The house I live in now, I've been in for, well, it'll be 20 years in February. And so I'm on the downhill slide on the mortgage side of it. And,
Well, the price of things are never going to go down.
Not enough.
Once bread goes up to whatever it is now, it's not going to go down. They're going to make the margin. But they took a Home Alone dude. What was his name? Macaulay Culkin. I mean, in the show, I don't remember his name. Kevin. They took the things he went out and bought. He went and bought some things.
Yeah.
They took those things that he bought that he paid $18 because he said it at $19 and something, and they bought them today, and it was $55.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. Yeah. And, now, today, as of this recording, gas is $1 a gallon cheaper than it was a year ago.
And I can tell you that the further north you get from here, the further south you get from here, the cheaper the gas is.
Yes. Well, it's fresh here.
Fresher gas.
Yeah, we're paying for the freshness.
250 something, 247 I thought, but I paid 221 yesterday in Bryant.
Yeah. You want to talk about gas prices, go to California.
Oh, yeah, there's his eye.
Yeah.
They just shut down one of their refineries. They only have 11 in the state, and they just shut one of them completely off. That's 17%. Or they shut down 2. That's 17% of their refining capacity. They shut off.
So they're going to have to buy more now.
Incidentally, Californians are going to be just fine. The problem is all of the gas for Nevada and Arizona came from those 2 refineries.
Oh, gosh.
So
they were happy.
Yeah. So Nevada and Arizona, welcome to the Republican Party. That's where they'll end up. That's where they'll end up. So, if you want to get to people where they really live, let it be gas prices. Back in 2004, I believe our news guy was on vacation, so I was covering news that week, and it was slow news week. I mean, I'm like literally twiddling my thumbs on what to cover. So I take my little voice recorder and I go down to the gas station. I'll never forget. I went down to the it's out on Northwest Avenue, across from it's next door to Magneto.
Yeah.
And I don't if that's one of the Rainbow Food Marts or whatever. I don't remember, Missile Mart or whatever.
Yeah, Missile Marts.
I went out there and there was a guy. He was filling up his Dodge Durango, and gas was over $4 a gallon.
Yeah, I remember that.
And his Durango held 25 gallons. And I'm talking with him at the pump when that thing went over $100.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, how do you do it? How do you shell out $100 every time you go to fill up a tank of gas? And he's like, well, we had to make some cuts in our family here and here and here. And you wouldn't think that if gas is $4 a gallon, that a president could get reelected, but
it did.
He did. Mm-hmm. And, that tells you how bad of a candidate John Kerry was. He couldn't beat a guy who had double-digit unemployment, 2 wars, and $4 a gallon gas. He couldn't beat that guy. C student. I always thought it was funny. They would talk about George W. Bush, and they'd say, oh, yeah, Harvard and Yale, but he was a C student. I said, well, you see, you can't have it both ways. He can't be the class idiot, but be the maniacal genius who guided Katrina into, to kill the most people of color.
The densest population.
Yeah. So you can't have it both ways. He can't be the mastermind behind 9/11.
No.
And then be a C student. Mm-mm. Sorry. Those don't compute.
So. And I'm going to tell you, you got some more? I got the thing in Minnesota with all of the child care places that have no children.
Oh, my gosh. The Somalian places.
And it's not only there now, they're finding some in Ohio, and it's up to like $9 billion now.
Oh, wow.
That they said the government has been.
Yeah, that Minnesota thing.
It's just
man,
gone.
That Minnesota thing has just been mind blowing.
This guy this economist that was talking about it, he said that is larger than the GDP of Somalia.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So the entire GDP of Somalia was made up from those those daycares that weren't having
Where's
any
all
kids.
the children? What?
Yeah,
you saw the
I
videos.
I saw those.
Where's all the children?
Huh?
What? Where are you looking? Where? Or no children? I know. Where
I want
are
to bring
they?
my son here. I want to bring my son Joey. That's what he said. I want to bring Joey here.
Yeah.
No.
He closed the door.
All right. These are things that are on mine and Boomer's bingo card for 2026. So the last one was the young being able to purchase a home becomes political fodder. Jake Paul announces another big fight on Netflix.
No, he doesn't. That's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. He got a broke jaw.
Well, he does now.
But they say he may not fight again, or shouldn't.
Well, he probably shouldn't.
Well, he shouldn't have
He
done
should
that.
have been
one.
fighting anyway. Not that guy.
Not that guy.
Listen, that guy's a killer.
He gave
that
him the
guy
one.
beat Vladimir Klitschko. Do you understand that for a moment?
Yeah.
Vladimir, you may not know who Vladimir Klitschko is, and a lot of people may not. But I'm just telling you, Vladimir Klitschko, this 6'6" Russian, the guy who like goes out there and like washes his body in the snow in Siberia and laughs.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy beat him.
He's a monster.
This guy's a killer.
And this guy had arms longest from here to that bar over there.
And
he threw that right and hit him in the left jaw.
It went through two zip codes to get to him, man. That thing.
Anyway.
Yeah. He shouldn't have ever gotten in the ring
No
with
more
that
fighting
guy.
for him.
Yeah. Let's see. Republicans passed some health care reform that is either too complicated or doesn't actually do anything.
That's probably true.
Yeah, I think so too. They just
Okay, you don't like Obamacare? Tell me what you want. Well, we're working on it. That's
No,
my
they're not.
biggest disappointment with the Republicans.
I just no, they're not. They're
And
not.
healthcare continues to get worse
Oh,
and
my.
worse.
And the costs are astronomical.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
So one of my children had to have a CAT scan done the other day, and he says, "Dad, do you know how much this CAT scan costs?" And I was like, "Oh, I have no idea. $4 or $5 grand." He said, $8,350. $8,350. He said, "Now my part was $212 or whatever. He paid his part." He said, "But 83. Why?
How can the insurance company pay that?"
And I told him, I said, "They're charging $8,300. They're not going to get that.
They
much.
won't get that.
The insurance company's going to come back and hold them down until they get to
25% of that or whatever.
$3 grand maybe, and that'll be that. And then that's why they start off at $8,350, so that they can get to the $3,000 that it really costs. Before the end of 2026, New Yorkers will begin to show their dismay over Zorhan Mamdani.
I think that's probably a pretty good bet.
I think so too. It may
Just
take
wait.
more than just this first year, but I don't know. He's already bit off more than he can chew. And,
He wants to have free buses and free health care.
and the state of New York is like, there's no such thing as free.
Yeah, how are we going to pay for it?
Yeah.
That stuff has to be paid for. You know
Yeah.
why? Because that bus driver still
Wants to
needs to
make
get his
money.
paycheck,
Yeah.
and it still takes gas.
Yeah.
And, they still need tires. And that guy who works on them and changes the oil and keeps them rolling, that guy likes to get paid.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
It's a lovely idea.
It's a fabulous idea. And, all animals should walk on 4 legs. Animal Farm reference.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. What was the pig's name? An Animal Farm?
Hubert or
Close. I remember the horse was Nathan, I think.
Yeah.
But
It's been a long time since I've read Animal Farm.
but listen, if you've never read Animal Farm, just go read it.
Just go read it.
Not going to give you any more. Just go read it and compare it to politics today.
Well, if you're 8 years old, you're going to think it's about animals.
Well,
but-
yeah, it's
And so
you need
that's-
to be
My
above.
brother handed it to me when I was 8.
Yeah.
He said, "What do you think?" I said, "It's a book about animals. I guess." He goes, "Okay, maybe later."
Yeah. Let's see. Democrats try to impeach Donald Trump again.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty safe bet to put on there.
After the midterms.
Toy Story 5 is the biggest hit at the box office in 2026.
I don't know.
I don't either. I did pull up the other day. I was like, what movies should we expect in 2026? There's some really good stuff coming. So Steven Spielberg has a new movie coming out, and it's called Disclosure Day. And it's when the world finally learns about aliens and UFOs. And they learn because there's a woman who's like a weather forecaster on TV, and she's trying to give the weather, and all of a sudden she starts speaking in...
Oh, click.
Yeah. And then lots of people in these crowds watching this, they're responding. So they're aliens too, is what I picked up from that. But anyway, let's see. On our bingo card for 2026, AI does something it wasn't supposed to, and there's a backlash.
I believe that.
Oh, I think that's coming.
I think AI is already doing stuff it's not supposed to do,
Mm-hmm.
and but I think there will be something that will be public, and it'll become there will be a backlash to that.
There's something that happened in a school. A little boy did the thing that you can do with two people kissing. You know, you can put your face and my face on, on two bodies, and you can make them kiss. And he did that, and it ruined a little girl's. You know, little girl was really upset about it, and got mad and hit him at the end of the day because everybody in school knew about it, and then she got expelled for hitting.
Oh, well.
So anyway.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I'm the dad going to the school saying,
that ain't going to happen.
Dad, wrong answer, recruit. So, let's see. There will be another nationally televised fake kidnapping. So you remember Carly Russell, the lady who supposedly saw the baby on the side of the highway, and
that made the funniest reels though,
didn't it though? And then come to find out, she just went with her ex-boyfriend, you know, for the weekend, and
laid up in a hotel.
Yeah,
eating snacks.
By the way, she got a year's supervised probation and 100 hours of community service. 2 years prior to that, Carly Paparini, the white woman who did a fake kidnapping, she got a year and a half in prison for it. So for our 2026 bingo card, I also have on here, there will be a record-setting lottery.
Oh, there's going to be another one.
There will be another record-setting lottery.
And somebody in Arkansas won
Somebody won,
Did they ever come forward? I didn't.
You will never know it. We'll never know who it is.
But it hasn't been claimed. The ticket hasn't been claimed as of yesterday.
Yeah, I don't. And it probably, you have up to a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
To make that claim. And if
it wouldn't take me that long.
If I'm them,
I'd be running before they close today.
You need to have everything set up way ahead of time.
Yeah, that's what they do. They want to talk to a financial planner.
I hope it's me.
Oh,
I really do.
They're from Arkansas. Maybe they're from South Arkansas.
It'd be so lovely just to let
They
them
bought
know.
the ticket in Cabot.
Yeah, in Cabot. Yeah.
At the Murphy USA.
Yeah.
So then it's got to be our favorite coach then.
yeah, Coach Reed.
Yeah,
that might be why I texted him the other day. I hadn't heard back from him. That might be why.
Might be it.
Yeah. Now I'm beginning to understand. So J.R. Schumann had texted me the other day. He said, "Man, please tell me you're the one who won that Arkansas that."
And that I'm still your friend.
And I was like, "Brother, if I did, I wouldn't tell a soul, but there would be signs."
Yeah.
There would be signs.
I said, first of all, I go get my bologna off layaway down at Brooksher's. Got a whole tube of bologna down there to pay it on.
Yeah. So. And my 8-track stereo.
Go get it back out of hock. Let's see here. The mullet makes a comeback, and we're not counting Theo Vaughn.
I hope not.
That needs to go for
Well,
good.
but kids are doing that. They're doing that fade and leaving it in the back again, so it kind of looks like a mullet. My grandson looks.
I saw an influencer today, and he had a lot of hair, but he had it kind of pulled back here, and it kind of flowed down. I was like, the mullet's coming back.
Mullet's coming back.
Now that old school driving an El Camino with a wife beater on, that mullet needs to go away.
Back. Yeah, and you smell like gasoline and oil, no, and cigarettes. Cigarettes are $10. $10 a pack.
Let's see. The Supreme Court will decide if trans athletes can participate in sports.
I think that'll be decided.
They're actually hearing a case in January. I looked it up, and it's I think it's in West Virginia, whether someone who has transitioned, quote unquote, into a female can participate in female sports.
And she's called Mountain Mama.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But
West Virginia, Mountain Mama.
I got the reference, yeah.
She's too young.
I got it. Took a second.
There will be a law that will severely limit data gathered by apps. All it's going to take is for the first congressman or senator to have their stuff
to affect them.
And then all of a sudden, because here's been my thing. Last year at this time, we were talking about would TikTok still be a thing?
Yeah, and it still
next
is.
year. Because, supposedly it was so dangerous and so, such a threat to national security. Well, if that were the case, then why haven't there been any bills put forward to limit the access to the data? That seems easy to me. I mean, almost every other country in the world has done it. Like Britain, there's like, we're fine with TikTok, but here's what you can have. And that's all. And now, do you trust the Chinese to not cheat? No. Mm-hmm. But that's why you have a watchdog and you keep an eye on that stuff. But I don't know why you have to ban an entire platform.
Yeah.
Just to now, you said earlier you're not on TikTok.
No, I don't do TikTok.
Good for you.
It's an
addiction.
It's a quick rabbit hole.
It is. You can
My
be
husband loves it.
You can be on it for 2 or 3 hours, and you go, "Oh man, I could have done
without.
I could have read a book."
Yeah, I do spend too much time online on Facebook and Instagram and looking at reels and those kinds of things. But no TikTok. I thought I didn't need another one.
You know what Martha does, and it's so benevolent, and I don't know if she's just nosy or what, but she's going to check on you on Facebook. She says, "Well, I'm just looking at people that I know that to see what's going on in their life, so I can be a part of their life." I said, "Ooh, look at you."
Well, that's how you know who's sick, who died.
Yeah.
Who do you need to be praying for? What's going on?
Yeah. Well, let's all be honest with each other for a second. That's like the old prayer chains at churches. That wasn't about prayer. That was about gossip.
We need to pray for.
Listen, y'all. We need to pray for Laney. I don't know if y'all heard. I'm not telling. I'm just asking if you heard. and then they proceed to tell all your business. Yeah. But let's pray for them.
Now her little sweet little granddaughter's got her hair pink now, and I think she's being real rebellious. And she's dating a boy that's 17 and she's 13. But it'd be stuff like that.
But at least this time it's a boy. That's the kind of stuff. And
my mother was on a prayer chain.
Was a prayer.
They had the names listed there. She goes, "Okay, now
you get off and you call you LeMay.
Joyce will call me, and then I call you LeMay."
Yeah.
The prayer chain.
The prayer chain.
My butt hurts.
Yeah. I witnessed the same thing with my grandmother.
Johnny.
Yeah. Hey, bro.
Hey there.
What's up? Man, what was you picking up in your yard today? Pecans?
No, leaves.
Oh.
I thought I had mushrooms.
Okay. I passed by and saw Donnie with a
But you didn't stop to help.
Well, no, I was coming here. I was 45 minutes late.
But yeah, and actually, Mama, she had everything. The prayer chain was written on the wall next to the phone.
Yeah,
written on the pane of the wall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, on the wall.
On the wall.
Not on a piece.
Not on a piece of paper. On the actual wall.
And they used to do that on the paneling. Mm-hmm. They just write numbers down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody's number was up there.
But they would write it on the paneling. We couldn't put it in a book.
Right.
You go to somebody's house, you go,
well, you couldn't find.
There's my number.
May not be able to find the book, but there it is, right next to the phone.
I mean, it does make sense.
Hey,
right?
look, if I went to jail today, I'm screwed because I don't know anybody's phone number.
Yeah, I don't either. I may know Martha's. Yeah,
I don't know yours. You're the most likely candidate to come get me out.
Yeah, Troy. Yeah. But here's the deal. Back in the day, Laney, when I was a kid, when the phone rang, no one wanted to answer it. Are you going to get that? Well, I will if you don't. It'd ring about 10 times. It's, hello. You
can't let it ring 10 times now. Your cell phone will say, that person's not answering.
Yeah.
And
they don't like you.
Stop the call.
Yeah.
They don't like you. That's what you hear.
Yeah.
They're not available at this time.
When I was a kid, there may have been times where you let the phone ring for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I know he's on his way home because I saw him drive by. And so it's ringing when he walks in the door.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
I'll be the first one to get him.
I was a kid. We just let the phone ring.
Yeah, we did.
The other thing was, did you ever have to do this where you were trying to get in touch with someone and you'd have to call the operator to break into the line?
If it was an emergency, they would do that.
Hey, so
if it's an emergency, they'll do that.
We went to do that one time. A relative of mine and I, we were in a vehicle and we had a flat. And so we walked from where we had the flat to one of my cousin's house, and he went to call my dad, and the phone line was busy. And so he finally calls the operator and says, "Can you break in to tell them, And they said, "No, evidently the phone's just off the hook."
Oh, Daddy had taken the phone off the hook.
Mm-mm. I had left the phone off the hook up in my room.
It's your fault.
It was my fault. Yeah. So that was lesson learned. Yeah. Finally,
had to fix your own flat.
I don't remember how. I guess maybe we called a neighbor or something. They went over and told Daddy,
Yeah.
"Hey, the phone's off the hook in Sandy's room, and
he needs to talk.
You need to call him over at Aunt Edith's house and Uncle Mason's."
Mason.
Yeah. And so Daddy called like, "What's going on?" I said,
What is
"Yeah,
it?"
we done had a flat."
Whatever.
He's like,
"Well, fix it."
No, I was a kid. I was little.
And
I
was driving?
I was with a relative.
Oh,
and,
I got you.
And he's like, "Well, he can fend for himself. I'm coming to get you." That's how that went.
So what are you going to do the New Year's Eve? This is it.
Well, tonight, Jax and I will be downtown. We're going to stream live.
Okay.
We're going
You going to watch the ball drop?
Yeah.
They got a ball down here?
Yeah.
I knew
and
they did.
Evidently, I was talking to Karen from the Chamber of Commerce, and she was telling me the ball this year is like super duper. They gave it to Evers Electric and said, "Hey, make us one.
Make it pretty.
And make it pretty." And so she's like, "I'm just blown away. I'm amazed by it." She sent me a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we're going to be downtown tonight, and we're going to be streaming live.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Okay.
I'll not come. Because, about 9 o'clock is midnight.
Yeah, you'll get in your gown.
I'll be in my gown. Yeah, I got a buddy that says, "Y'all can stay as long as you want, but at 9 o'clock I'm in my drawers." And we did it one night. He says, "Come in here." And he put a swimsuit on over his drawers.
Let me tell you when you're a kid, what's not funny.
What?
And that is, we went to one of Daddy's buddy's house, and he's like, "Hey, y'all come on in, make yourself at home." I said, "Catch it, Dad? Means you can get in your underwear and scratch yourself."
Make yourself at home.
My dad, the jokester, did not find any humor in that whatsoever.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, "All right."
By the way, if you are a candidate for public office in Union County and you have an opponent in the primary, we want to invite you to take part in our political debate that's going to happen on Monday, February the 16th. And Shay Wilson, the former managing editor of the El Dorado News Times, is going to moderate that debate. I will be the MC for that event. We're not only going to stream it live to our channels at YouTube, Facebook, and our website at southarkansasnow.com, but also there will be a crowd of people there. So if you need to get your message out, you want to get your message out to those people, just simply reach out to us. You can message us through our Facebook page, or you can reach out to me. My email address is very simple. It's sandy@southarkansasnow.com. And we'd love to talk to you about being part of that debate. Now, if you have an opponent in the general election, we'll have another debate in October, just before early voting begins, that you can participate in that. But this is only for those who have an opponent in the primary. And so that's
Good
coming
thing.
up in about 6 weeks.
Good thing.
And so we want you to have plenty of notice and be available to participate in that. So again, just reach out to us, message us via Facebook, or again, my email address is sandy@southarkansasnow.com, and that's SANDY.
All right, good deal.
All right. Laney, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me. I had a good time.
I hope it was...
Never a dull moment with the two of you.
Never is.
That's for sure.
You're
embarrassing sometimes, but never a dull moment.
Yeah, just say the least. But thank you again for being with us.
Sure.
And we do appreciate it, and hopefully we'll have you back soon.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. That's going to do it for us. Hey, God bless. Happy New Year. We'll see you next week on Off the Back Porch.
With a history of being the voices you trust, this is Off the Back Porch.